Crooks is on deck to go along with three-time All-American Olivia Miles, who will make her TCU debut, and the reigning Big 12 Freshman of the Year, Dayna Scherf, out of BYU. All three of those players primed and ready for a great season.
Be a lot of fun. You know, there are dogs here as well.
We heard there's some puppies on the loose.
There are puppies here that they might be petted before the day is over here on the set.
We're a little distracted over there.
Yeah, a little bit.
They're all about this big. We got to take one home with us.
Just a few of those. We will do that. Again, busy day today. And when it comes to AP teams from the Big 12 in the preseason rankings, it's led by Iowa State, picked behind TCU in the coaches poll, but the AP giving them a little more credit. Bill Finley returning 9 players. You mentioned preseason player of the year, Audie Crooks. Baylor, 28 wins last season, 6 players back. TCU, a school record, 34 wins in that Elite 8 run a season ago. And Oklahoma State, first preseason top 25 sitting in 10 years. So, and Iowa State returning a lot, a team that got bounced out early in the NCAA tournament, certainly looking for a little redemption this year.
That's right. And there's 2 main things you need to know about the Cyclones. First, we got to start off with Coach Bill Finley. He has over 800 wins. Okay, he knows how to win. Then, on the other hand, you have elite talent. You have Audie Crooks and Addie Brown. They are the returning Big 12 points and rebound duos. 39 points and 15 rebounds. So that inside presence is huge. Oh, and then throw in some of the best fans in the nation, over 10,000 per game. They're looking to create championship players and championship coaches into a championship season this year. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch the Cyclones.
And then you look at what they're doing, obviously, with bringing players back. They got the experience. Like, I think Iowa State is that one team that has just almost been there the last few years. They're so close, right? I think a player like J.D. Williams, a transfer, who we'll get more into later, could be that missing piece that they needed to complement Audie and her team.
Baylor, 28 wins a season ago, picked as the second best team according to the Associated Press. They beat 4 ranked teams last year. A lot to be excited about.
So much. And you think about the fact that they've brought back 70% of their scoring, or they replaced 70%, I should say, with almost 60 points a game. That's a big deal because a lot of times you lose scoring, but you don't get anybody back. And what they are keeping, Dariana Littlepage Buggs, all Big 12 first team member, Bella Fauntleroy on the all-defensive team. That is the calling card of Nikki Collin and this Baylor Bears team. They love to play good defense. So they reached the second round of the tournament last year. Then they add a great portal piece in Talia Scott, who has SEC experience at Auburn and Arkansas. She can score. And
hey, we're also going to talk a little bit more about Talia Scott, but another transfer from Auburn who I really like is Yuting Deng. She only played in 13 games last year for Auburn, and she's from China. She doesn't speak the language that well, but she speaks the language of hooping and making buckets because she averaged 12 points in the SEC. So it's a lot of fun to watch her and see her going into the Bears.
Baylor, very accustomed to being in that preseason top 25, nationally ranked. TCU is not. First time in the preseason top 25 in 22 years and their highest preseason ranking ever.
Well, I'm calling TCU Talent Central University because they just get ballers. That is what is going on with the Horned Frogs. And they have the biggest turnaround in women's basketball in the last 2 years. They started out 1-14 2 years ago when Mark Campbell came in. And then they won the Big 12 tournament, went 34-4 last year. And then, oh my gosh, all these players we have to talk about. The list is so long.
I'm telling you, right now TCU is like as big as it gets. 4 players, 6'7" or bigger. I mean, we're talking about women's basketball. So you got the trees down there, plus the magician, Olivia Miles, about to work her magic up here in the Big 12. I think I heard her say she wanted to average a triple-double. I thought I caught that.
We'll confirm that later.
Yeah, we sure will. Oh, we sure will.
For that.
She'll be with us in a little bit. And then Oklahoma State rounding it out for teams in the top 25. First preseason top 25 ranking in 10 years and well earned.
I think this is a promising season for Oklahoma State. You know, they were not ranked as high as they wanted to be last year, made their moves. And, you know, I think what they're bringing back, Junior Staley Hurd, a first team, all Big 12 member herself. You got some more experience. You got into that first round of the NCAA tournament. Now what can you do with the pieces that you have, plus the new pieces coming in place? Again, it's the experience for me. It's being able to come into this league and know the kind of competition it's going to be every night. These teams beat each other up, and they love every minute of it.
And Oklahoma State is so tough to play in. They only lost 1 game last season at home, and you mentioned Staley Hurd. Her and Micah Gray, they drained 142 threes last season, and they're both going to be on the court with a number 7 in the nation transfer portal class. So a lot of new pieces. I think this team is going to be very deep and hungry for the Cowgirls.
At West Virginia, just on the outside looking in there for teams trying to sneak into that top 25. Speaking of rankings, top transfers, and you mentioned it when talking about TCU. Olivia Miles, who you thought at Notre Dame, okay, she'll come back or she'll go to the WNBA draft, maybe be the number 2 overall pick. Instead, the multi-time All-American says, you know what, I'm going to TCU, and what a big win for the Horned Frogs in the Big 12.
Yes, I mean, you're getting somebody who understands how to manage the game, how to set her players up, and how to bring fans to the stands. I think that's one of the most exciting parts about getting Olivia Miles is her showmanship, the ability to just create instant energy in this gym, not to mention her talent. You know, I feel like, again, with the size surrounding her, what she's going to be able to do off the pick and roll, the great passes in the finish, Olivia Miles is perfect for this conference. It was a surprise to see her land at TCU, but I think everybody here is happy to see her.
And to your point, Brooke, is Coach Campbell's system is he wants to get players ready for the WNBA. They run a lot of pick and roll actions, and they are always out in the open court. He's like, I want to score 100 a game, and that's exactly where Olivia Miles can thrive. Another one, just real quick, is Audie Crooks. And guess what a summer they had together. They played in the America Cup down in Chile. Also were in Unrivaled for an NIL deal. So 2 of the superstars right there. You're seeing them in Miami, Brooke.
You love to see it. I mean, these 2 are going to be super pros anytime soon, and Unrivaled.
Very different
always,
hairstyles.
right?
Well,
yeah, absolutely.
They will very complement each other. Olivia Miles, certainly a big-time transfer. Not the only transfer that has come into the Big 12 to add to the star power of this league. Talia Scott, who you mentioned, who is in her 3rd team in 3 seasons, dealt with that wrist injury. Hopefully she's healthy this year. She's averaged more than 20 a game in her career games. Marta Suarez, 3rd school, Tennessee Cal, now TCU. Haley Timmer, South Dakota State transfer. She can really fill it up. And you mentioned Jada Williams replacing Emily Ryan there at point guard. Led her team in scoring, assists, and steals per game after 2 seasons at Arizona.
Well, I'll talk real quick about Talia Scott. They say sick 'em down in Baylor because you're going to be sick of how many buckets she can get. She averaged 22 points as a freshman in the SEC. She's healthy now, and she's going to be a big addition for Nikki Cullen and the Bears.
Yeah, she likes to get those buckets, and you love to see it. And I think Jada Williams, you mentioned it, led her team in points, assists, and steals. So I think she's going to be the player to really make that magic work. Cannot wait to see how she and Audie complement each other in the post.
Exactly, and it's going to be a player that Iowa State's not had before, just so quick, fearless, and a lot of good vibes. Their personalities even mesh off the court.
A lot of teams looking to build off of last season. A lot of teams looking to rebound from last season. Again, we will hear from every team, every coach, the notable players throughout the 3 hours we are on the air today. And we begin with BYU straight ahead. We'll talk to the head coach, key prospects. We have just begun here in Kansas City. T-Mobile Center, the place to be, and they're in the distance. That's where you can pick up dogs and pet them.
Do you think that counts as a carry-on?
Okay, that has been noted, and we will watch you and make sure you're leaving with everything you brought in.
Gotta check one.
Lee Kamard is here with us. First season as the women's head basketball coach. You are very familiar, obviously, with BYU, an assistant long-time, assistant on the men's team, played for the men's team as well. What is it like now to be the head coach of a program you played for?
Yeah, I love BYU. Okay, it's no surprise to anybody. The place changed my life, and so I love it. And I know I'm 100% biased, but I don't think there's a better place to be a student athlete than at BYU.
What was so special about your student athlete experience that you hope your student athletes?
We won a lot. It kind of started there. I came as an athlete student, and I'm proud to say I was a student athlete by the time I left there. It just grew as a human being, winning also again, but just a great overall college experience, and want to be impactful with our athletes now to give them that same experience.
Your motto this year, pace, chemistry, and trust. You also bring back Dayna Gibbs, who is not going to fool anybody this year. Lots of attention drawn on her.
Great player.
What does that look like year two?
Yeah, she's gained everybody's respect in the league. Preseason award. It's really cool for the recognition because we got some great coaches in the league and they voted on it. She's got to show some maturity. Going into year two, she's not going to sneak up on anybody. Everybody knows she's a scorer, and she can do that very well. But she's got to show that growth in her game as far as, hey, I missed a shot, don't pick up a quick foul after it. Just managing the game, as a floor general, as a point guard. But, yeah, she's ready to go. She's been working hard, so excited.
We can't wait to watch her, but there's a lot of other players we have to talk about. You have 6 countries represented on your team, the international flair and the draw to BYU. Is it that winning mindset, or how have you been able to recruit so many great players into your program?
Yeah, they fit us, and we fit them, and I think that's important at a unique place like BYU. And we feel like it makes us stronger. We got a lot of different life experience in our locker room, and it's a great group that really brings all their life experience and their upbringing together, and it makes us better on the floor and as a group. And we look forward to the season and using some of that, life experience to help us on the court.
Speaking of, you guys did some team bonding at a ranch this year, is that right? Can you kind of walk us through that?
We do a lot of team bonding. I try to be really intentional about kind of that college experience. Rode some horses, had a culture night where everybody kind of shared a family heirloom or something that's been passed down through their family to kind of bring us closer. And we just like being outdoors. The state of Utah is beautiful, and I feel like if they come to BYU and don't get to see some of the beautiful scenery, I'm not doing my job. So a lot of fun things as a team so far.
Really awesome to hear how you're building the culture, and they're all being able to add in their own culture as well. And you've got a couple of freshmen. One of them I'm really excited about, Olivia Hamlin. How has she been looking coming into the first few practices here?
Liv is the ball of energy. She always is ready to have a good time, ready to sing, dance, do something fun in a Spurs moment, but really can score it. She's somebody that doesn't really need to be put in a position to score. She just knows how to put the ball in the basket. So she's showed out pretty well so far and doing really good things, still picking up some things scheme-wise, but overall a great addition to the team.
We see oftentimes in college basketball when you have a new, quote, head coach, it's entirely new team. All players coming in. No one has really played a minute for some of these coaches. That's not a problem for you. 7 returning players. The freshmen, of course, will be integrated, but how does that help the transition?
Yeah, just very familiar with the staff. All wanted to be a part of this. Players all wanted to be, and we wanted everybody to stick around. Very unique situation, but feel really fortunate with everything that we have coming back. Right, starts at the top with Delaney, but also some really good pieces and a good core that's coming back going into this season.
Best of luck to you. Thanks for hopping on. You said this was your TV debut?
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Put it on my resume, Let's go. For when I'm older and can do this with you.
Put it on the reel. He'll be an analyst at ESPN eventually. Yeah. You mentioned Delaney, who was a great freshman last year going into her sophomore year. She was with Rachel.
Thanks, guys. I am with the reigning and unanimous Big 12 Freshman of the Year, preseason All Big 12, Dayna Gibb. Delaney, I think it would be an understatement if I said that you made a lot of noise in year one. That really carried over into your summer. I'll talk about that here in a second. But what's your mental approach headed into year two?
Yeah, I mean, I think going in as a freshman, it's always exciting to just kind of prove yourself and see what you can do. And so going into this next season, I'm really excited to kind of take a leadership role on our team. We've got a lot of new faces, and so it's fun to be, someone who was there last year and kind of has a feel for this league and for college basketball. And so it's just super exciting to be able to build off a great year last year.
Well, talking about your summer, you played for the Canadian senior national team this summer, took home a bronze medal. You also suited up for Team Toronto at the FIBA 3-on-3 Women's Series. How was your summer and what were those experiences like?
Yeah, it was super exciting. I was traveling a lot, which I would not have it any other way. Obviously, being able to play with Team Canada is so special to me, and I get to experience basketball with so many great players and so many experienced athletes, and so I feel like I've just learned so much from the summer, and it's exciting to try and, funnel that into this upcoming season.
What were some of the areas that you had to work on skill-wise in the offseason?
Yeah, I think for me, obviously I was young, I was a freshman. I felt like I was a lot smaller and weaker than some of the guards, and so making sure that, my fitness is improving. I'm getting bigger and stronger and trying to get quicker and faster. And then as far as skill-wise goes, I'm kind of a known shooter, and so I think just kind of going off that, trying to improve in other areas, trying to get a tighter handle, being able to score more at three levels. I shot a lot of threes and I got to the rim a lot, so trying to incorporate a mid-range game, floaters, stuff like that.
Okay, what was one really fun thing you did this offseason?
Ooh.
Outside of the national team
basketball?
stuff. Yeah, outside of basketball.
Okay. I was able to go to Montana with my family and spend a week on the lake.
Beautiful. We love Montana. We love Montana. Thank you so much, Dayna Gibb out of BYU. We appreciate your time, and we wish you the best of luck this season.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you, ladies. We'll be checking in with Rachel throughout the day. Iowa State next up. 23 wins a season ago, 12-6 in league play, 15-2 at home. Bounced out early in that NCAA tournament, but certainly hoping for a better postseason this time around. Look at those numbers. And again, the highest ranked preseason team out of the Big 12 in the AP poll. Bill Fennelly has been here a time or two, entering his 31st season here as a coach. Bill, thanks for being with us. Does this ever get old?
No, it doesn't.
Look, how about this reunion here?
Yes,
Look at this.
Yeah, she still wants to shoot all the time.
That's right. We're behind the three.
Even without a basketball.
No, it's a great day. It's exciting for the players. I think it really galvanizes the fact that it's time to start playing, and we're excited about what's ahead and looking forward to getting the season started like everyone else.
Coach, retaining talent is a talent these days. You look at so many different rosters, and you have 9 coming back, including obviously Audie Brooks, Addie Brown, just your star players, and you add some more star power to it. What is it about the way that you coach and you manage your program that makes you want to stay? And maybe this is a question for you, too, but I'd like to hear from you, Coach.
No, I mean, retention obviously has become a word that is so prevalent in college sports now. And I think for us, obviously, hopefully it's our community, it's our fan base. It's a chance for our players to feel comfortable in the system. You have to recruit the right kind of players, and the world has changed obviously a lot, but you can't change your values. You can't change what you believe in. The system that you have, we play in a great league, we play in a great community. So you hope that that's an experience that the young people still, at the end of the day, it's still about the relationships, the people that you deal with every day. And luckily, we were able to retain the key players on our team.
And you talk about retention with those top players, but one of the pieces you really had to fill in for was the point guard position. Emily Ryan, one of the best point guards, over 1,000 assists for Iowa State. And then you got Jada Williams. So what has that transition been like from Emily Ryan to Jada Williams in that point guard position?
Yeah, it's been interesting. Jada's a completely different player than Emily, but yeah, you got so used to not. I could have left practice and Emily would have run practice, and now she's on our coaching staff. But Jada's dynamic. She's athletic. She's excited to be home. She's from Kansas City, so this is an exciting day for her. But she's fit in really, really well. She understands the Big 12. She's quick with the ball. She's aggressive. She's going to be a great on-ball defender. plays the game different than Emily, but when you walk into a building and you get to start your team with Addie and Audie, you know as a point guard you got a good chance to have a good day.
Audie posed to have another big season. What do you feel like is kind of your hopes for her and this team to reach that Final Four status with the amount of experience and talent you have?
Yeah, I think Audie is a junior now, and so it's there's a leadership component to what she's about. Obviously, it's hard to look at a young person and say you got to get better when she had the kind of year that she had last year. But the challenge, like I told her, is preseason player of the year is a great thing. It means a heck of a lot more if you're the player of the year in March. And that usually means you're on a good team, you're on a winning team, and, expand your game a little bit. And she's worked really, really hard in the offseason. She understands that. Her favorite word is growth. And I've been really proud of what she's done and look forward to seeing what she'll put on the court this season.
Evangelia Polk, also a very good transfer.
Great pronunciation. I just call her EP.
I worked on it all night, so I appreciate that. But EP, very good player and adds a lot defensively to what you guys want.
That's a big thing for us. She's a big guard. Our guards are talented, but we're not very tall. And EP gives us some length and physicality. She was a defensive player at Wofford, an all-conference player, and she's fit in really, really well and just gives us something as you start looking at combinations. 4 of our 5 guards are new, and so we're trying to figure that out, but she's been a great addition to our team.
Now, we can see Audie expand her game out to hitting threes this year. Any more with that?
Every day it's Coach Green Light, Coach Green Light.
Yeah.
She shoots them every day. She hasn't made one in a season yet. Last year she was 0 for, but no.
I thought you were going to say she shoots them every day and hasn't made one yet.
No, she does make them,
right.
but every day she works on it, and we're going to let her shoot it. Why not? Let her go.
And we talk a lot about Audie Crooks, and we got Jada Williams, but I don't want to overlook the impact that Addie Brown has on your team. She's one of the most versatile players in all of women's basketball. I think you could put her 1 through 5. What have you seen the most growth from her from the sophomore to junior season?
Addie's, I think if we didn't have Audie on our team, everybody would be talking about Addie. She is maybe as skilled a player as we've had in a long time. She can do a lot of things. She passes it, she scores it. Is a better defender. Her basketball IQ is as high as any player I've ever been around, and she adds a lot to our team. And like you said, we've practiced her at point guard, we've practiced her at the 5, and I think her game translates to the next level. She wants to play, and she comes from a family of her sister Kennedy was a great player at Duke. So Addie's a big piece of what we're about.
38 seasons now as a head coach, 31st at Iowa State. Your next win will be win number 801. What keeps you going throughout this transition of college hoops?
It's just the people. I love being around. When you around the kids that I'm around every single day. Ames is a phenomenal community where we raised our family. I got to coach people like this. It's a special environment to feel like, even though the world has changed, you still feel like you're impacting young people's lives. It's different than it's ever been, but I love doing it, and I love everything about it, and we look forward to hopefully giving our fans something fun to watch this winter.
Should be a great season, again, for Iowa State, and one of the key players with Rachel.
All right, everybody, welcome. The Big 12 preseason player of the year, unanimous preseason all Big 12, 2-time All-American. I could do this for an entire 2 minutes here. Audie Crooks, welcome in. Audie, it is so nice to see your beautiful smiling face. How are you doing?
Thanks so much. I'm doing well. Happy to be here.
We've got so much to catch up on. I think one of the biggest highlights of the offseason was being a part of USA basketball, winning gold at the FIBA America. How was that experience for you?
Absolutely. That experience was amazing. Being coached under Kara Lawson and being with the best of the best in the country, going overseas to travel and play and represent the United States is something I definitely didn't take for granted. So really appreciative of that experience.
What'd you learn?
I learned a lot about myself. It was cool to be coached by somebody different, to learn a new system and to be evaluated in a different way. So I learned a lot about my game and ways to expand it and ways to improve.
Finally, it's hard to believe you are now entering your upperclassmen years, which seems a little bit strange to talk about. But how do you make that jump, especially without a player like Emily Ryan on the court this year? How do you make that jump to a leader?
Yeah, everybody thinks that I'm older than I actually am. I am only a junior, but making that jump, honestly, is just having that experience underneath your belt and being able to approach situations and games with confidence and leading by example, and now leading more verbally. Because before, I would play a lot as a freshman and as a sophomore, but not being an upperclassman, not necessarily necessarily comfortable speaking and correcting others or guiding others, but this year that definitely has changed, and me and Coach have had a lot of conversations about becoming a leader and kind of stepping into my own. So just making sure that I'm preparing this team and preparing us for the future.
Looking back on your journey, I mean, you're an Iowa kid. You chose to stay in state. You've been at Iowa State your entire career. You have become one of the most recognizable faces in all of college basketball. Certainly on campus, you are a rock star. I mean, the attention just keeps coming. How do you handle that pressure?
Yeah, it's different, and it's more than I honestly ever could have imagined for myself, but I just carry that with a lot of grace. You know, when we're going out as a team to dinner, little girls will stop me and ask me for pictures. I don't take that for granted, and I just make sure that I want to use my platform in the correct way and just be a leader, be a role model for those people, and it means a lot to me.
All right, last question I got for you, Audie. One fun fact, did we learn any new instruments this off season? Maybe a recorder? Saxophone.
Recorder, I learned a recorder in like second grade. I think that was a requirement, but I did attempt, keyword, to pick up the violin. Not going well. I need some lessons, so anybody out there, give me some tips, some pointers. I need some help with that one, but I am trying.
Well, Audie, good luck with the violin lessons this season, and good luck this season. We appreciate your time. It's always so great to have you on here.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Guys?
Audie adding to new forms of audio with some of their, maybe some string music as well with a three-point shot. We shall see. We'll talk to the Big 12 Vice President of Women's Hoops next. Dayna Scherf, Vice President of Women's Basketball, with our annual visit. Just keeps getting bigger and better, not just this event, but this league. How would you assess your excitement for this season?
Yeah, I'm super excited. I mean, coming in this league, we have so many new players, great returning nucleus, of course, but then we have so many newcomers and outstanding freshmen. in our league, probably the best freshman class overall we've seen, and I just cannot wait to get started.
I like how you touched on that because, we were talking earlier this morning about you have to have star power in the conferences to, get the audience excited and get women's basketball fans out there. There's plenty of that in this conference this year. Who are you excited to see?
There is, yeah, right at the top. I mean, you have to go with Audie Crooks from Iowa State and Olivia Miles from TCU at the start. Obviously, both play with Team USA, won the gold medal at the AmeriCup. Unrivaled futures, two of the best players in the country, no doubt about it. But then you have a ton of other players as well that there'll be no shortage of highlights this season. So you have Dariana Littlepage Buggs at Baylor, the only player to average double-double in our league last year. You have players like Smythe Nichols and Staley Hurd, two players that I don't think enough of the country knows about. Smythe Nichols can carry a team on her back. She did that a lot last year. Staley Hurd is the engine for Oklahoma State. You have a Jordan Harrison who played a lot with JJ, and she's really ready to step up and shine in her way. And then you have players like Delaney Gibb from BYU, preseason or the freshman of the year last year, who really burst on the scene. Got a ton of experience internationally with Team Canada, and those are just a few of the stars that fans can watch this year.
Well, and you just mentioned Delaney Gibb right there from Canada, but the international presence is so huge in the Big 12. Over 40 players from different countries have coming in here. What has that meant for the growth and impact for the teams and the overall Big 12 league?
Yeah, it means a lot. I mean, this summer was great because there was so much international play, and we have around 46 players in the league. Every team has at least one international player. And what I enjoyed was they were so impactful for their team programs. We had MVPs, we had team champions, and I think our style of play and our coaches and our league really develop those players and makes it attractive for those players to come and really develop and play professionally later on.
Mentioning international, the transfer portal, these new stars, it takes finances, right? It takes investment. How would you characterize the intentional investment that is being made in women's basketball here in the Big 12?
Yes, that's what I love about our schools is our athletic directors are making that investment. You see it on the court. You see the level of play going up. You see the star power coming in. You see freshmen, high, 5 stars, 4 stars, picking the Big 12, picking our teams, picking our coaches, and they're betting on the Big 12.
You see the investment in this building today. I mean, the Big 12 Media Day, it's beautiful. So well done on that.
Thank you.
And you touched on the freshmen. There's 2 schools getting their very first McDonald's All-American, Cincinnati with D. Alexander, and, of course, Jordan Spicer going to Kansas State. What does the future of the Big 12 look like with these stars coming in?
It's super exciting. Like D. Alexander, terrific, highest recruit at Cincinnati. Julia Davis at Kansas, also extremely high recruit. Jordan Spicer, as you said, the 3 McDonald's All-Americans. But then you have more than that. You also have Gina Garcia at K-State from Spain. You have the Super Six at Cincinnati, that freshman core. There's just throughout the league, even we have, I think, 6 states represented players of the years coming in as freshmen. So very excited to see those players on the court.
And I know Utah was in that top 25 freshman class as
LASD,
well. Yes,
yeah, definitely.
Can't wait to watch her at point guard.
Definitely want to see her too.
Exactly. And since we're talking about watching them, we know that you have so many games that are going to be broadcast here on ESPN and nationally where everyone can tune in. What are a few of them that you're looking forward to checking out?
Yeah, there's a lot. We have a lot of our teams represented. We have the most linear programs that we've had in several years. Obviously, Baylor kicking off the year in Paris is huge. But then we also have, if you look back at last year, how great the TCU Baylor games were. Both of those will be on ESPNU this year. So, yeah, there you see a great schedule. In the West Virginia Duke game, Baylor Duke, Iowa State, we have the Bedlam series back. We have Baylor Texas. So a lot of great, compelling games and matchups.
Do we all get tickets to that Paris game as well? We'd love to do the studio show from there.
So would I.
You're on.
Game tickets, not necessarily plane tickets. That's the problem. Attendance, TV viewership, it's all the growth of the women's game. How do you feel that here in the Big 12?
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I mean, it's each and every year it's growing. The fans are coming out. Our environments are great. We had over 1 million fans fill our arenas last year. It's just a terrific atmosphere for our players, and we really have a great home court advantage, too. And it just shows on television and as we grow the game.
We talk about new players, new investments. We also have some new coaches here in this league, some in their first year with the program, some in their first full year as the head coach, some taking the reins of a program they played for, like a Lee Kamard. How would you speak to this new level of talent here in the coaching ranks?
Yeah, I think we got very fortunate. We have a great crew of new coaches coming in. The energy and excitement with all of these coaches. I mean, you start off in the state of Arizona and Becky Burke. She's such a program builder. You know, nobody's going to outwork Arizona. You have the relentless energy and defense of Molly Miller, and you just look at her overall career record, and you know she's a winner, over 80% career winning percentage. Lee Kamard, definitely BYU through and through, played there, coached men's and women's. Excited to see what he's going to do. And, of course, Matthew Mitchell.
Great to have him back in the game, right?
Yeah, love that he picked the Big 12.
That's great. Gavin Peterson took over as an interim last year and now as the first full season as head coach. Dayna, it's going to be a great season. We're off to a great start. Thanks for being a part of it. We do appreciate
thank you.
it.
Yeah, thanks so much, Dayna.
Dayna Scherf, Vice President of Women's Basketball here in the Big 12. We are getting ready for some more coaches coming up. We mentioned Cincinnati. How about the highest-ranked high school prospect that they have ever signed? No, that's not it. But we're in the makeup room. We're all getting dolled up here at Big 12 Media Days. We'll talk Cincy next. T-Mobile Center, site of Big 12 Media Days presented by New Era. It's a little more than 3 months, less than 4 months from now. We'll all be loving Kansas City, site of the Big 12 tournament on both the men's and women's side. And here for our annual event, Matt Schick, Brooke Weisbrod, Ann O'Neill, and thrilled to be joined by Katrina Merriweather, head coach of Cincinnati, entering her third season. Look at some of the numbers from last season. In her second year, guided Cincinnati to the first winning season the program has had in 5 years. So certainly baby steps, but we are on the correct trajectory. And Coach Merriweather joins us now. How significant was last year and that achievement along the way?
I think about Jillian Hayes,
Yeah.
right, and the impact that she's had on our program, how she came in and made an impact in the Big 12. And it just seemed right that we were able to take a step forward with her. And before she left, she got that winning season. For us, as a whole, I think we just want to continue to take baby steps. This is for the long haul. So I want to build it to where it's sustainable. We don't want to have great years and fall back down. We want to continue to get in that upward trajectory you mentioned earlier.
Baby steps with a big baller coming in, though. You got the program's first ever McDonald's All-American and D. Alexander. Let me give Purcell Marion a quick shout out. Spend some time there. And also 5 freshmen that are they're coming in ready to ball. So are we going with like sensational 6? What's kind of the theme behind these freshmen?
It was the Fantastic 5 initially, and then we added Kylie Torrance there in the spring, and I think she's going to be the biggest surprise in the class. You have D. Alexander, obviously, who everyone knows. She has been phenomenal in her high school and prep career. She did have a bit of some obstacles this summer, set out a little more than we would have liked, and definitely more than she would have liked. So we're looking forward to her getting back into play. And Kalia DeVillisi is our other top
Baltimore,
kid.
she's outstanding.
She is unbelievable. There are very few true point guards out there, and that's how we recruited her, that she'd be the point guard of the future for our program.
Well, you love that, and especially with Dee, the growth that's just early. It's early in the season, so we're excited to see her growth. And one of the things that really helped your program out this summer was that you got to take a trip to Italy.
Yes.
So can you share a little bit about what that experience was like on and off the court? I know you even got some extra practices in there.
We did, and so selfishly, that was the biggest selling point for me, was let's get 10 additional practices in with 8 newcomers of our 13, and of course 6 freshmen. I feel like it gave us an opportunity to bond, and anytime you can learn another culture, anytime that you can show that we have been supported by all the people, the donors, our administration, I think it sent a message to our team that they were investing in us. So it was fun, of course, but I got to see some lineups early. They got to play with some whistles blowing and to build some chemistry. So we hope that pays some dividends down the road.
You didn't once mention anything away from the court there in Italy. Like you're so basketball focused. There had to be 1 or 2 things that you enjoyed away from that.
Okay. So we
Come on, her eyes went.
Yes, exactly.
Is the thing. And this is our second time in a few years since we went to Greece a couple years ago. There's a gelato store at every turn. I mean, if you're in shape, it's great. If you're trying to fight the bulge, not so much. But no, it was, we made pizza together. Here we go. We're talking about food again. All
Sorry.
this stuff was basketball and food. But no, it was a great time.
What kind of style should we expect to see from you guys? I mean, you also have 6'6" Mary Carden, you transfer from Oral Roberts, so you are adding size with this youth. What kind of style of play are we going to see?
Well, we're looking for up-tempo, and everybody says that, and I always say we're going to play as fast as we can, right? We need to keep our turnovers down, so we don't want to just push the ball up the floor and throw it to the other team all the time. But I do think that having Kalia DeVillisi can help with that, having Joya Crawford out of Tennessee, who we think is one of the best offensive players to come out of that class, is going to be helpful, along with Paige Whitted. Our returners, you got Reagan Jackson, who loves to shoot it in transition. So I think with our point guard, losing Tanea Hilton was huge. But now we'll be able to back that up some more. And defensively, we just need to be better. I felt like maybe just us not being cohesive in a unit was a problem. And now I think that we are able to solve that a little better. We've got great chemistry, and again, the extra time in Italy doesn't hurt either.
Well, that gelato is going to solve all the chemistry.
And so one time I saw all 13 of them together.
Well, and you talk about the sisterhood that you are building at Cincinnati. That is a theme for your entire program and also your coaching staff. You have 8 women on there, but all of your players talk about the culture that you're building. Can you share a little bit of how that's translated to great play on the court?
Yeah, I think anytime that you know that you are supported, anytime that you can feel that everyone around you wants what's best for you, and that it's not just basketball. And when we talk about the sisterhood, it's lifelong connectivity. I'm also a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, so that is somewhere where it began, along with the Family Incorporated with my dad's youth mentoring program. And when you build relationships that are everlasting, it just shows on the floor. It gets you on the helpline a little better. It helps you communicate in those screen and roll situations. And I think that that's what we're seeing with this group. So on the court, absolutely. But off the court, we want our kids to know that we're going to be there for all life's events, the good and the bad, and that they'll always be a part of us and we'll be a part of them.
Coach, thanks for being with us. Best of luck.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Really good stuff. 5 returning players for Cincinnati, including Reagan Jackson, who's with Rachel.
They call her RJ3. Reagan Jackson here, Big 12 Media Day. How are you doing?
I'm great.
I love that smile. How's your media day going so far?
It's going great. I love everything about this. I'm having fun being here.
Describe the environment and the energy right now.
I mean, the environment is great. Seeing all these people here, looking good, feeling even better. It's great.
See the puppies.
Yes, I did it. I'm so excited. You don't even understand.
Okay, Reagan, 8 newcomers, 5 returners. You're one of the most experienced players on the roster. What sort of expectations do you have for yourself this year?
I mean, honestly, just leading my team in the way they need to be led, and I think that looks different for everybody, especially having the 6 freshmen that we do have and just being what they need me to be for them.
What were some areas of your game? I know you've scored in a multitude of ways, do a great job of shooting the perimeter 3, getting to the rim, attacking off the bounce. What were some areas you felt like you needed to either enhance or fine-tune this offseason?
Honestly, my defense. I think my on-the-ball defense needed some growth, and that's what I've been working on. And my ball handling as well, and I've been working on that as well with the trainer A-Jump. So, yeah.
Let's talk about the foreign tour. We all need some Italian talk and some food talk. How was that trip? You guys took that tour. I was on social media following along. It looked like you guys had an absolute blast. The Colosseum, the Vatican, the cooking class. I mean, just tell me about that entire experience.
It was great. The history, the people, the food. I mean, amazing. It's something I would never take for granted, and I was blessed to be a part of.
What was your favorite part?
Honestly, outside of the basketball, my favorite part was the Amalfi Coast. It was a beautiful beach that we got a pleasure of being at. We got to ride a boat, and it was just a great experience.
What about the food?
The food was amazing. Oh my gosh. Me and Maya Perry, my teammate, we found a hole in the wall, and they had this lobster pasta that was to die for. So good.
Okay, lobster pasta.
Lobster
I'm going back
pasta.
to Italy just because of this preparation. I've got the itch.
So good.
Okay, when I think of Cincinnati, I know Ann talked about it before, I think of the sisterhood. It's really become the brand that you guys kind of represent, and I think that Coach Katrina Merriweather has really instilled on your program. What does the sisterhood mean to you and just as a program as a whole?
I mean, the sisterhood, something I can never take for granted as well. Another word we like to use is Ubuntu, which means I am who I am because of who we all are, and I think that's what the sisterhood is. We show up for each other every single day. We're there for each other no matter what, and that's the epitome of the sisterhood.
Now, what about the Big 12? I mean, we talked about media days and everything that's going on today. I know you love this conference. I know you love Cincinnati. What do you appreciate about this league, these coaches, and these programs just as a whole?
I think the biggest thing I appreciate is the competition and the versatility. You never know what you're getting, and you have to prepare for all types of styles of play. And I think that's my favorite thing about this league, for sure.
RJ3, you guys heard it here. I appreciate your time and that beautiful smile. We wish you the best of luck this season. We will be watching.
Thank you so much.
You guys.
Thank you, ladies. Cincinnati looking to take that next step, perhaps get into that NCAA tournament, where Oklahoma State is looking to advance a little further in the NCAA tournament. It was a 7 seed last year, went 17-1 at home. Some nice additions to this Cowgirl team that won 25 games last season. J.C. Hoyt, in her 4th season as head coach at Oklahoma State, joins us now. Coming off 25 wins, most in a single season, and here you are, preseason top 25 for the first time in 10 years. What's the vibe? What's the significance of all of that to you?
Well, it's been just so, I think, affirming to my staff and I that we're doing the right things, we're trending in the right direction, and that all starts with getting the right players. And my staff has done an amazing job of that. I'm very, very proud of our culture, and as great as it is to hear you rattle off all those things, I've got to say we're way more hungry than just doing that. You know, it was great to get to the tournament last season, but we want to win in the tournament, and so I think we're in a really great position right now is we have a lot of returning players from that season, last season, but we've also added some really, really great portal additions, a great freshman. So we're very hungry right now.
I'm going to go early season vote for best dressed coach of the league. I mean, just exuding energy up here on the set.
You said the vibes were going to be bright, right?
You know what I'm saying?
This is America's Brightest Orange, by the way.
Is that right?
Yes,
All
America's
right.
Brightest Orange.
Love to see it. But, last year you were able to defy expectations, play with that kind of chip on your shoulder this year. Now you're preseason 4th. What is the difference between motivating your team when you're picked a little lower than you think you should be? We're at 4. Everybody's saying, hey, this is a good team.
Honestly, I think it's always easier to motivate when you feel like a little bit of an underdog. However, that's not what we're here for. We want the target on our back. We understand that the target is there, but I think that any coach would tell you that's where you want to be as a program, right? That's a good sign. So our kids, like I said earlier, they're just incredibly hungry. We understand that the target is there a little bit sooner than it was last season, but we're embracing it. We're leaning into it, and with that just comes an understanding that we can't have any off days. We have to be incredibly process driven and just motivated to compete on a daily basis.
Well, one of your leaders, even from last season, Staley Hurd, she's probably one of the most underrated juniors in the entire nation. She filled it up, assists, rebounds, points, also steals. Tell us a little bit about her growth and what you're expecting from her leadership, especially to lead this team to some big wins.
Well, it's been so fun coaching Staley because every year she's had a very different role for us. And I think what we're seeing in her role now is just that she's being stretched and pushed because we do have great players around her, where, maybe her freshman year, that wasn't quite the case. Last year, we added more pieces around her, but we're really seeing her have to kind of rise to the occasion even more, just on a daily basis in the grind of practice, because everyone around her is so competitive right now.
Got a bunch of portal players as well. You go through that process of who fits that right C-word culture, right? You go to BYU, UCF, South Dakota State as we look at some of these players, Oral Roberts, McNeese State. As you go through some of these, what boxes are you checking off?
First and foremost, just character, right? Kids who have the character that we get to just focus on basketball on a daily basis and not have to deal with some of the other things outside of the game. But the other C word for me is competitors. We want competitors, and every kid, every school that you just listed that they came from, they are competitors. And so we just feel that if a kid loves to compete and they love the game, that's a really good equation for us, because we're going to have very high expectations and demand a lot from our kids. But if they love the game and they're winning to set all things aside for the sake of winning, then it's going to go really well at Oklahoma State.
Some of your pieces surrounding Staley Hurd, you mentioned them, but senior Micah Gray, Jaden Wooten, both all Big 12 members in their own way. How do those two players help complement her game?
Well, I think that you just mentioned three players that really are proud of last season, but man, they want more. I keep saying the word hungry, but it's just the best way I can describe it. And so I've seen that in them. They got a taste of success, but they want to keep climbing. And I think that Micah Gray is as great of a scorer as there is in this conference. She
10
can
threes
really,
in one
really
game last year.
shoot the ball. And then Jaden Wooten, I think, is one of the best facilitators in the conference and in the country. Her court vision, her ability to facilitate and help us play at the pace that we want to is elite.
Well, one of the things about your program, you only lost one home game last season. What is it about Gallagher-Iba Arena that just makes you guys win? Is it those shirtless guys from the football game that we're going to see on there?
I have been recruiting the shirtless guys for the record. No, it's our fan base is incredible. And, in my time at Oklahoma State, I think we have broken like 3 attendance records already. They're just an amazing group of fans who are going to rally around any team that's on campus. And when you have success, and I think we put a really great product out on the floor, they're going to show up and they're going to back you. So we take great pride in defending home court.
That's right.
Helps to have good fans, helps to have good players as well. Staley Hurd is one of those players. She's alongside with Rachel.
All right, here alongside one of the premier players in the league and in the country, all preseason, Big 12 preseason selection. Staley Hurd, how are you doing? How was your trip in?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's so good to be here with you today. I want to start with your summer. You had an opportunity to compete with Team USA in the trials in June. How was that experience? What did you learn from that?
That experience was unbelievable, honestly. Just getting to compete with the best of the best in the country and getting to be coached by one of the best, Kara Lawson. She's just a phenomenal coach. I learned so much from her. Just seeing stuff from a different perspective that was awesome experience.
Talking about perspective, you're now making that jump from an underclassman to an upperclassman at this point. What is an area of your game that you felt like you really needed to fine-tune and elevate in the offseason?
Last season, Coach JC talked to me about just shooting the three more and getting more comfortable with that. And, I really took that to heart and really got in the gym and worked on that. And so she talked to me about, shooting more mid-range and getting that in my game. So, and of course, just producing as a leader. And so, she gave me those tasks to work on this summer, and that's what I did.
You took my question right out of my mouth. Leadership, that's a huge role, especially with this team and the makeup of this team. How do you embrace a bigger role as a leader?
I mean, it's fun. I love what I do with who I do it with, and these girls make it easy. The coaches make it easy. I'll do anything to win. So I mean, it makes it really easy.
I love it. Literally one of the most competitive players in the country. Okay, it's really a family affair there at Oklahoma State. You've got 2 sets of sisters on the team between the Hoyts and the Herds. Your sister Tyla transferred in from Oral Roberts in the off season. What is it like playing alongside your sister?
It's just been. It keeps me speechless just because I love playing with her. It just takes me back to the old days when we were younger and we played together all the time. We've never played against each other, so when we did last year, that was just a so surreal moment, heartfelt. But we live together now. We're with each other every day, and I wouldn't trade anything for it.
Do you guys fight?
No, we're really
We're past that point.
close. Oh yeah, we've been way past that point.
Give me a glimpse just into the driveway competitions growing up. What was that like between you and your family? I mean, it's unbelievable. What was that like?
Oh, it was crazy. Between my parents and between my uncles and aunts and just everyone. Everyone's just so competitive. Everyone has that competitive drive and has played at a collegiate level at some point. So, I mean, it's just in our blood.
It is. All right, what about this culture of this team? I think that head coach J.C. Hoyt and her staff have done such a phenomenal job of really establishing that culture. Speak on that a little bit and just why it's important to you to be a part of something that has such a rich culture and competitiveness that matches who you are.
So we talk about sisterhood a lot, and, we do it for each other. It's not just about us. And Coach J.C. talks about all the time how we build our culture here is about sisterhood and being for each other, and it's not about us. And so, I feel like with this group, she's done an amazing job of bringing in the girls that are not selfish and actually just they want it for everyone else and not just for them. So I feel like, we can do so much with that.
All right, last one I got for you, Staley. If you were not playing basketball, what would you be doing?
I'd be playing volleyball. I'd definitely be playing volleyball. Me and my sister both played in high school, and
What position?
I was a middle, and so I just love it. It's just it's a breath of fresh air from a different point of view.
I can tell you I would not want to take a volleyball to the face from Staley Hurd. There is no question about that. Staley, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm really looking forward to watching you this year.
Thank you so much.
Guys.
Great stuff. Thank you, Staley, for the time. Oklahoma State. There's J.C. Hoyt with the brightest orange you've ever seen in your life.
I got an idea for those shirtless guys. I think that paint would look pretty good on them.
It might.
Alley-oop.
Oh, we're hooping it up. Hooping it up. Houston looking to move on up next season.
Alley-oop.
Power and Light District, just across the street from us at T-Mobile Center here in Kansas City, site of Big 12 Women's Basketball Media Day presented by New Era, Matt, Brooke, and as well as Matthew Mitchell, head coach of Houston, who joins us now. It was a 5-win season a year ago, but Matthew entering his first season at Houston after spending 13 seasons at Kentucky and a couple prior at Morehead State. You can look at some of those numbers. They're certainly looking to improve on that. That's why Coach Mitchell is here 5 years away from the game, a legend of the game, did great stuff at Kentucky. What was it that finally made you say, you know what, I'm ready to come back to the game and Houston's the right spot?
Well, I stay connected to the game in many ways.
Yeah.
Was able to travel around and did some TV work, watched some of my friends coach and get into it, and then coach my daughters in middle school basketball. And so one day my daughter Sailor, we were watching basketball, and she said, "Dad, I think it's time for you to stop coaching middle school. It's time for you to get a team." And my wife really encouraging, and it just I was so grateful for the time away from the sport. But I know I truly believe it's where I can make the greatest impact on people's lives is back with young people. And I know a lot's changed, since I've been away. But one thing that has not is the feeling of being with young people and young, great basketball players and helping them move toward being great people. So it's been a lot of fun.
Just a quick follow-up for those who don't know. Health-related issues 5 years ago, retired, a concussion, and in an accident. Now you're back. What's it like being away from the sidelines in that capacity, knowing you still had so much more to do on the floor?
I think the biggest gift for me was just perspective. I just think I have a different perspective on really what impact we can make. And so the wins and, the success matters. Your competitive success certainly matters. But just really being focused on how the way we invest in these young people's lives, winning's going to be a byproduct of that. And so that's the real joy that I'm finding upon my return. And I think basketball is such a great tool to teach life lessons. I think life's a lot like a basketball game. You're up 10 and then all of a sudden somebody goes on a 12-0 run or whatever it may be, or the ball bounces funny. And so it's just it's a lot of joy right now to be back, and so grateful for these players we put together. We had 3 players when we got to Houston, and I told people, we're too short. We needed at least 2 more so we could play. But we put together 13 players, and it's just it's been a real joy to be around those young people and to see them progress in the short time we've been together.
Coach, you really are getting a blank slate of a team and a team that did not end the season well. It was a 13-game losing streak, but again, you rebuild. How do you revive life into a program that ended the way it did in a city like Houston that embraces basketball so much?
Well, it's a challenge right now. I mean, this is going to be, make no mistake about it, it's going to be a challenging season because we're all so new to one another. And so we've got a real clear path on how we do things. It's called the winning tools. It's honesty, it's hard work, it's discipline, and we really try to teach that on the court, off the court. And so you have a collection of people who are all coming from different places and different experiences. And so it's a challenge for everybody to get on the same page. But that's the exciting part of the challenge, is trying to build a team and get all of these people marching in the same direction together for one another. And so we're just at it every day, trying to make progress every day at it. I've been really, really proud of the players because they've embraced it, and we're still a work in progress, but I think that's what we do. We lead with our principles. We're grounded by those. We know who we're trying to be each and every day, and we've had a lot of success leading basketball teams with those 3 things.
Well, Coach, after your winning tools, I know that you also wrote a book with the exact same title and those 3 main tools. One of the things I watched was your Houston Media Day, and the players, I'd actually watch it twice because I went back to count how many times they used energy to describe you and what you bring to the court. So how has that gone over the summer to building team chemistry and the pace and play that you want to have at Houston?
Well, thank you for mentioning the book. I have 2 books. They're all available online.
All right, let's get it.
So you can go search for those. But, energy, what I've told them, I think there's 3 things that you have to have if you are aspiring to do something meaningful. And we're going to aspire to have the best team we can have this year. So you have to have talent. We're all given that. You have to have skill, and all of our players have enough talent, enough skill, and we can help them develop that skill. But then you have to have the right energy. The X factor for us is energy. We play an up-tempo style. We play an attacking, aggressive style. So you really have to have that ability to bring energy in a positive way every single day. You have to have some resilience to your game because it is tough to play the way that we play. And so that's one thing that, I can create an environment that honors energy, but they're in charge of that. And so we just really try to teach that each and every day. And it's a group that's capable of it. It's, again, difficult to play, difficult to build. Once you build it and get it, it's a lot of fun to play the way we play. But we're just in the throes of it right now, of trying to help them understand how important energy is, and it's very important for us to be successful.
Well, Coach, speaking of energy, as a quick follow-up, we just have a little bit of time. We got to hear maybe a tune or 2 of you from the Coach Mitchell Band.
Yep.
I know that you sang Music Mondays with your team.
Music
Do you
Mondays.
have a little tune for us here on Big 12?
It's taking over the country.
It is.
It's really something. But it's a little bit like my dancing when I was back dancing for people. You're going to have to go back to either Instagram and find that. I'm not going to say today on set. I can't make sure. I just go to my Instagram page and you can hear all the music that you want.
We'll save it for a championship.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
No,
come on.
this is phenomenal. What a phenomenal appearance this has been. Thank you, guys.
Yes. Yep.
Guard TK Pitts, transfer out of SMU, spent the last 3 seasons. I want to be one of the very first to welcome you to the Big 12 and Big 12 Media Days. How's the experience been so far?
I just got here, but this place looks amazing. It looks beautiful. I see all the teams and coaches and everything going on, so it looks great.
A lot of newness at Houston this season. You guys are kind of all going through that together. We'll get to that here in a second. But what was it about Matthew Mitchell's program and what they're building at Houston that really made you want to be a part of that during this transfer portal season?
Yeah, so talking to him, he just, he talked a lot about his winning tools that he's told us, and that's hard work, honesty, and discipline. And, me just being the person I am, those things align with who I am and, what I want to be surrounded by. And so just talking to him and hearing his plan of action and everything he wants to do off the court as well, I think that I was like, yeah, this is a fit for me. This is a match for me. And I think I could thrive here. So, I believe I've made a very, very good decision.
You led SMU in steals last season with 69. That's 4th in the ACC. For those Big 12 fans who are not familiar with your game, go ahead and give us a scouting report.
Not going to give too much, but no, yeah, I'm definitely a defensive player. I like to bother court vision and, have a lot of pressure on the ball. I've continued to develop skills at Houston. Being versatile, being able to play the 3, being able to play the 4, guard the 5, things like that. And so, you could play on the perimeter, I could play in the post, a high post. It's variety is endless.
A lot of versatility. Well, TK, thank you so much for your time today, joining us here on Big 12 Media Day. It is wonderful to have you. Good luck this season.
Thank you so much.
When we come back, we've got Colorado joining us on the set.
Big 12 Women's Basketball Media Day presented by New Era. We are here in Kansas City. Matt, Brooke, Ann, and Coach Payne from Colorado. Quick recap here of the Buff season from a year ago. 21 wins there in Boulder, 9-9 in Big 12 play, went 15-3 at home, went to the WBIT before losing to Gonzaga. But 10th season, Coach Payne, I mean, it's the second longest tenured coach in program history. When I was a student there, it was Sealberry every day, right? Death, taxes, Sealberry. Turning into you here, Coach Payne.
Well,
this is amazing.
I don't know about that. I wouldn't go that far. Certainly don't say that out loud anywhere around Boulder. But yeah, I read that the other day and was very surprised. But certainly have loved being at Colorado and hope to stay for a long time.
Why have you been there so long?
Well, it's just a really special place. Anyone that's spent any time in Boulder, it's just something special about it. A lot of us can't necessarily put words to it, but our athletic director is incredible. The environment's incredible, and we've had some pretty great teams.
Coach, you come in with a team, you left 11 left your team, I should say, last year. So you kind of had a whole new mix of players. What does that look like for you? And 10 years ago, you wouldn't see this many players,
right.
But now you're really having to mix and match and find that quick chemistry. How has that been for you guys?
Well, this year, we're really excited about some of the new players that we have, especially. I think we did a great job this past spring, our staff did, of finding the right types of players. I always say the basketball's easy. If you need a shooter, find a kid that can shoot, but our culture is so important to us at Colorado and recruiting players that really value being a great teammate, having a great locker room, and wanting to be a part of a family, which we were able to do this year.
Well, you're only one season removed from back-to-back Sweet 16s, which is pretty impressive. And I know when we were able to talk earlier, you said it was a lot about defense. And on your team this year, you have 3 players who were all conference defensive players in their own conferences. So talk a little bit about that blue-collar work ethic that Colorado's known for.
Yeah, I mean, we're a program that's been built on that blue-collar work ethic. We've never had access to a bunch of 5-star McDonald's All-Americans, but we've continuously beaten those teams with our culture of just tough, hardworking, discipline, and things like that. So, yeah, we've never had a team with 3 all-conference defensive players. Very high expectations for our defensive coach, Coach T. But I think we're going to be pretty special defensively if we can just get everybody on the same page.
Mentioned the back-to-back Sweet 16s. There's only one player on the roster, and no one from the rotation of those 2 years. But Kennedy Saunders is back. Is not like the highest scoring player on the team, but certainly it's got to be important to have someone back who's tasted that success.
Yeah, tasted that success, and that was a year that Kennedy redshirted.
Yes.
But she still had a big impact on that team, as far as just using her voice. And she's carried a lot of what she learned from that group and those experiences and continues to teach our new and young players just sort of the way we do things at Colorado, which has been great for us.
Got great senior leadership from Jade Masagayo, and in the portal you get Ziana Walker, who was all Big 12 defensive team member. So certainly getting that upper-level experience in addition to the new players. What are you counting on leadership-wise from Jade? What do you want to hear from her?
Yeah, with Jade, she's so new to us still. She's only just entering her second season with us. The type of sort of explosive development that happened in just one season with Jade, we're expecting that same thing to happen again this year. Just continue to elevate her ability and her voice. We've been asking her, you got to lead this young group, and especially in the post-core, they're young around her. And so she's done a tremendous job. She'll never be the loudest kid in the gym, but she has a lot of experience to share, and she does a great job of sharing that on the sidelines, in the film room, in a lot of different ways.
Well, one of your highly touted transfers is Anel Dutat. And tell me a little bit about what was the experience like having her here in the summer and then being a Buff and how it's going to translate into great offense and defense for your program?
Yeah, AD, man. She was so good in practice yesterday, you guys. She was so good.
I love that.
Man, I'm just thinking about it. AD is one of the smartest young ladies I've ever coached. And I've coached a lot of really smart young ladies, but she's able to carry that kind of calm and poise and experience. Every single day she shows up to work, and gives tremendous effort. She's a great example for our young players of just what it looks like to be a pro. And how to carry yourself. So she's teaching these younger players how to compete, what it should look like. She's also pretty quiet, but yeah, she's doing a great job of leading by example, and I expect these young kids to really follow her lead.
AD coming over from Rhode Island, looking for a good season there at Colorado. JR looking for a great 10th season at Colorado. It's great to
Me
have
too.
you. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
And again, we mentioned Jade Masagayo. Certainly going to be a big contributor this year, Rachel.
Yeah, an all Big 12 preseason selection. Congratulations on that nod, Jade.
Thank
How are you doing? How has your preseason been going so far?
Man, I'm doing great. It's been good so far, and I'm just loving it. Just loving it.
Okay, there's been a lot of change in the program. 10 newcomers, 5 transfers, 5 freshmen. That's been a common theme with Colorado basketball the last couple of years, but that's okay. You are a consistent, steady piece for this program. Tell me about this group right now. What have you seen through the summer, through the preseason that gets you excited about this season?
Yeah, I mean, this group has been awesome, especially during the summer. We've bonded a lot. We have amazing chemistry. I keep saying and harping about how much we spend, how much time we spend together. They're always at our house and just chilling, and we're always just finding some activities to do outside of basketball. But, on the court, we're very competitive. We got a lot of energy, and yeah, I'm just very excited about this.
Well, tell me about some of the team bonding that you guys have been up to out there in Boulder. I mean, what are things you guys do? You talk about going to each other's houses, but any trips, anything like that?
Man, I mean, we recently just did some pumpkin painting, so that was a lot of fun. The team just went to a John Summit concert last Saturday, so it was a lot of fun. So we're just always together doing stuff.
What's the personality of this team like?
Man, honestly, we're really goofy. I'll tell you that. We're always laughing and cracking jokes and just having a good time, so it's been great.
Okay, tell me a little bit about Buff Nation, that culture that head coach J.R. Payne was talking about. What does that culture and being a part of that program really represent for you? What does it mean to be a part of that?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say that we have a standard. That would be, being very tough and disciplined, doing what you're supposed to do, and just doing what you're supposed to do, being fearless on the court, and just being tough.
Jade, I appreciate you joining us here today. I'll see you back in Boulder. Wish you the best of luck this season.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You guys?
Unintentional pun there. I'll see you back in Boulder. That was very well done, Rachel, Matt, Brooke, and as well as head coach of the Baylor Bears, Nikki Collin, entering her 5th season, 28 wins a season ago, 15-3. Finished second in the league behind TCU, 16 home wins, 4 wins against AP-ranked teams, and made it to the second round of the NCAA tournament. Coach Nikki joins us now, who back in the day attended Bo Ryan's basketball camps as a youth.
This is true.
Went to Purdue and then Marquette, an assistant for a long time, WNBA head coach, coach of the year, now at Baylor for the 5th season. How would you describe this journey as a player into a coach and now as a 5th-year head coach?
I feel like you just made me feel old. Like, that's a lot of things. So
you can see your Wikipedia. It's very lengthy.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just super grateful for where basketball has taken me. Like, I can pinpoint that moment when I fell in love with the game and what it's meant in my life.
What
is
was
pretty
that
much
moment?
Yes. 5th grade, co-ed, rec league, Platteville, Pizza Hut on my chest. We were playing American Family Insurance. 2 undefeated teams. I hit the game winner.
That's
the
it.
rest is history.
And you're here.
Literally,
Yes.
It was that moment that I'm like, this is the greatest feeling. And it was literally a 5th grade rec league game. But, that feeling never left me.
I would certainly hope Pizza Hut had a pizza party.
We,
you guys after that.
100%. In the old days where you were trying to see how much of the red pepper you could put on
Yes.
your Right, yeah, those were.
When you actually went to Pizza Hut to eat?
Of course, team parties at Pizza Hut were all the thing.
That's great.
Well, Coach, you bring in almost 60 points a game after losing 70% of your scoring. Like, that is scary to any type of coach. But knowing you have talent, and plus you're going to complement the talent you're already retaining, Dariana Littlepage-Buggs, Bella Font-Leroy, of course, and a big-time scorer in Talia Scott. What is the offense going to look like under her and your leadership this year?
Yeah, I think it's exciting. I think it's scary when you lose a Sarah Andrews who started for me for 4 years, and we lost 500 assists. That's the biggest thing. I don't look at the points. Points are easy to replace. That sounds sad, but I really believe it's the unselfish, move the basketball, get the ball to the most open person. But Talia Scott is a professional scorer. You brought it up. She has, it's not because she's the tallest, the fastest, the strongest, but it's her angles, it's her use of her hesitation. She can get hot from 3, but she has a slithery way of finding her way to the rim and finishing in a variety of ways. So a lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball. We've got to get better and more connected on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, I was going to say I'm here for the offense, so I'm going to stick with the offensive conversation. And you mentioned Talia Scott and the Auburn connection. You also added Coach Johnny Harris to your staff and also Yuting Dang. So you have a couple of different Auburn connections there. How has that blend been when two of the top players from Auburn and then also another coach that's going to be your associated coach there?
Yeah, I think when you think about Johnny Harris, she's been a part of championship programs, whether it's Final Fours at Mississippi State, a national championship at Texas A&M, well-respected recruiter. But as much as that, like a really good on-the-floor coach, great with our student athletes. And so I think she's just, why not get better? You want better players. You want deep rosters. I want a roster of coaches that can really help us be great. And so it's meant a lot. I think certainly it helps the transition to have two players that played for her. Yu Ting, who didn't speak a lot of English when she came to the United States, certainly very, very comfortable with Johnny, a big part of why Yu Ting's at Baylor for sure. But Yu Ting, man, that girl can score too. You talk about someone who can really get up and down.
We had Dayna Scherf on earlier as we look at some of your, let's talk about the portal ads. Who are the portal ads?
About the vibes.
I mean, this music, man, they really, it's like we're at a rock concert. Or they're turning it down. Who of these portal ads outside of Scott do you really think can be a big contributor this year?
Yeah, I think Kirsten Johnson, we call her KJ, someone that can play a style that we like, really run the rim protect, can play in ball screens. Didn't get a lot of minutes at Oklahoma, obviously with a Reagan Beers, you can see why, but really plays a system style that we like and really can block shots at the rim.
Coach, we can talk a little bit more about defense if you'd like to do it.
A little bit.
What are some areas, and without giving away your game plan, of course, where are the specific areas you want to see tighten up?
Yeah, I just think we've got to communicate better. Our ball screen coverage has to get considerably better. Getting in help, getting out of help. It's kind of the connectivity that's so important to be a good defense. We talk a lot about all 5 players are responsible for 20% of our defense at the time. If only 80% of your defense is in the right spot, you're probably not going to be very good. So getting them closer to 100% in the right position at the right time and really talking through mistakes.
Was there any major games? You're going to Paris, so we might as well just start right there, that you're looking forward to. What is that trip going to be like to start your season and then propel you forward?
Well, first of all, I think elite platform for the Big 12, for Baylor women's basketball, kick off the college basketball season. First game of the year, ESPN, the world's going to see us good or bad. It's going to tell us a lot about where we're at. Duke, a top 10 team. Elite defensively. If we don't turn the basketball over, we'll have a shot to compete. If we do, could be a long night over there. But just excited about the way it's going to talk to us about what do we have to work on. Then we're going to get an Iowa, and then we're going to get a Texas. And so playing different type of teams to prepare us for Big 12 play, which inevitably we want to be playing great in February and March. We want a conference championship. We want to advance in the NCAA tournament.
First time in 15 years playing Duke. That was a Baylor win, by the way, in the Elite Eight. Well, hopefully that'll happen again. Coach, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Nikki Collin, who mentioned defense. Bella Fauntleroy is one of those players on the all-defensive team standing by there with Rachel.
All right, welcome in all Big 12 preseason selection, Bella Fauntleroy. It is so good to see you here in that smiling face. You look really natural with that ESPN microphone in your hand.
Yes.
Okay, you are one of the most experienced players on the roster, on this Baylor roster. 103 games played. You made sure to correct me. You have not missed a game.
I
have not missed a game. What was this offseason like for you? Where were some areas of your game you felt like you needed to improve on?
This offseason was really special. I spent a lot of time with Coach Nikki just working on my power game, being strong, playing a little bit more bully ball, really being deliberate whenever I'm coming off of ball screens and getting in the lane, holding the line and getting to 2 and finishing. And then also just being more consistent from the three-point line. I feel like I've always been a good three-point shooter, but I want to be a good and consistent three-point shooter this season.
6 newcomers on this team. You've got a really good balance of returners, returning consistency, but also really new talent talent being added to the team. Give me a little bit of a scouting report of what we're looking at right now.
Well, with Kira Pemberton, you're going to have length, you're going to have speed and athleticism. She's going to get rim runs and open up the lanes for us to drive, for shooters as well, for driving kicks. Talia Scott's going to get whatever she wants. Whenever we put her in ball screen action or just in our offense, she's so crafty that it's hard to guard, especially when you have spacing. Yu Ting Dang is just, I don't know, we call her Baby LeBron. Like, Ting is so versatile, and she has really good fundamental skills. Like, it's pretty basketball watching her play. Got a hard-nosed Markayla Johnson, that's a freshman, going to come in and give us some energy. And I'm thinking down the list, who am I missing?
Oh, I think that's good. I mean, it's going to be talented no matter what, because that's what Nikki Collin does. Okay, real quick, you guys are headed to Paris. Have you ever been to Paris before?
I have not.
And what are your thoughts on taking on Duke on November 3rd?
I'm very excited. It's such an honor to be able to represent our university and be in the first game of the college season, both men's and women's. That's going to be a great tip-off, but also the opportunity to go and be in another country, kind of be immersed in culture, and then know that you're there to take care of that job while we're there.
Bella, I think you have a future in this.
I hope so.
You look really good. You look really good. Thank you so much for joining us. Good luck this season.
Thank you.
Guys.
Great basketball player, future media star. We'll meet some of the stars of UCF, the Knights, looking to turn the page from last year, get to that postseason. Talk to the head coach straight ahead. Many more teams to come here at Media Day. Big 12 Media Days rolling on here from Kansas City. The camera's close, right? Ready for your close-up, Coach Messer? Let's go. Entering her fourth season at UCF. Quick recap from a season ago. 12-win season, 4-14 in the Big 12. Did win 9 home games. Still looking for that postseason. This was a very good get-to-the-line, make your free throws team. Good offensive rebounding team as well. Looking to build on that from last season. Coach Tia Messer, entering her fourth season at UCF. Joins us now. Third season entering the Big 12 now. You were here during that transition. How would you describe UCF's transition here and how it's been going?
Well, the first 2 seasons we were trying to get adjusted to the Big 12. But I will say, what I'm looking forward to is with this team is the grit, the defense, and the speed. I feel like this is a team, one of the fastest teams I've ever coached. And so I think on the defensive end, we're going to make it ugly for our opponents and really go after them.
Like the need for speed, Coach. I mean, in this league, you got to have the speed complemented with the power. And you bring in actually a lot of big-time portal transfers, both from within this league as well as the SEC, Big Ten, and ACC. How will that help you compete more in the Big 12?
This is the first season we have more balanced scoring. We've been one player dominant. And I think, some of the players we brought in, JB, who is from, southern Mississippi. We brought in Leah Harmon, who's from Miami. And, of course, the three that we retained with Kai and Mahogany and Summer Yancey. Summer is one of the most versatile players in the Big 12. So I'm just excited to have the players that we have coming in. Crystal, who also was from the University of Tulsa, who averaged almost 8 points for them, and she's doing really good in practice right now. So we're excited about it.
Well, you mentioned all of the transfers that are coming in, and Orlando is such a huge recruiting hub for you where players want to be a part of the UCF program. How has that been so attractive for you to be there as a coach, but also get in a lot of great talent into the Big 12?
Yeah, we do consider Orlando, it's where the world vacations. We live there. So you can't beat that. And so it's been definitely a positive being in Orlando in recruiting and being now in the Big 12. We're able to open up doors that when I was there previously, we couldn't open up doors in our previous conference, that now the Power 4 players want to come and play for us at UCF.
And it's an international gateway, so to speak. A little Epcot pun there with Orlando. Opening the gates and the doors to international students, how have you been able to do that there in Orlando? Well,
it's a major city, so that's been good. We have a great education. And so, we have 2 major airports. So getting in and out of the city of Orlando has been pretty easy for some of our international students. So that's been a good selling point. We have 2 major airports. And also our connections, my coaching staff. We have great connections internationally, and it's really worked out for us over the last couple of seasons.
Who are a couple of those international players?
Okay, we have Felicia, who's a pure shooter for us, and we have Mia, who they're both from Sweden, and Mia's again a lefty dominant. Versatile player, and Felicia is a pure shooter. So we can't wait to have them, and they're doing really well.
Congrats on everything so far. Here's to better success coming up this season.
Well, we're looking forward to it. And go Knights.
Thanks, Coach.
There you go.
Charge on.
One of those players returning from this season is with Rachel on our side set. Rachel?
All right, here alongside Kai and Godu. Kai, I am a huge fan of your game, the physicality that you play with, the power that you play with in the paint. You are now entering into those upperclassmen years. What was an area this offseason of your personal development you worked on?
Definitely my strength. Like you said, I like to use a lot of power in the paint, and in order for me to continue to do that, I have to continue to lift and develop as a player. And I've been working with our strength and conditioning coach this summer a lot with that.
I'm just curious, how much do we bench?
Okay. You caught me off guard with that one a little bit. All right, max, we are at 135. Okay. Well, we're going to get that up.
What about that squat? What about that
squat? That squat, we had a 200.
Ooh,
200,
I love it.
Good lower body strength for sure.
All right, Kai, 11 newcomers on this team. Give us a little bit of a sneak peek of the makeup on this roster. You are one of the veterans. What's this team like?
And we're very fast. But we want to establish an identity in being defensively aggressive. That's something that we definitely want to be as a team. We want to be a team that's not going to let up. We want to take it one game at a time and then just see how the season goes.
All right, you've now been in the Big 12 for a few seasons now. What do you appreciate about this conference?
Every single night there's going to be there's a competitive nature with every single matchup, every single game of the season. I know going out there I'm going to be challenged as a person and as a player every single game, and I look forward to it. It makes me better.
Is there a matchup that you are looking forward to this year?
Oh, no, I like to say, like you said, every single team is definitely going to be competitive, so I'm looking forward to playing everybody.
Okay, give me a player that you have admired and maybe sort of emulated throughout the course of your career, even going back to childhood.
So I watched Candace Parker a little bit. Not growing up, Asia Wilson, maybe more recently, but definitely growing up, I say Candace Parker, a little bit of Sylvia Fowles. I played for our AAU basketball team, so watching her was definitely great. But Asia Wilson is also a great player that I like to model my game after a little bit too.
Kai, thank you so much for joining us. I will be down in Orlando cheering you guys on this year. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Guys.
UCF Knights looking to get to the postseason. Coming up next, we'll talk to Texas Tech. Coach Gerlich trying to get to a different form of the postseason in the season to come. That's straight ahead. Less than 4 months from now, these nets will be cut down. And Coach Gerlich and Texas Tech hoping to be one of those teams playing on this court here at T-Mobile Center. Last year, 19 wins, made it to the WBIT quarters. Very good defensive team. Top 4 in steals, field goal percentage defense, turnovers forced per game. And no freshmen coming up this season. Certainly some experience coming in for Coach Gerlich, who enters her 6th season. And you were mentioning as we walked onto the set here just how much bigger this feels here. Put that into words, because you've been around here for a half dozen years.
Yes, I think the Big 12 has done a great job of just continuing to raise the stakes. I think they continue to try to put the women's game on the forefront, as it should be. I mean, we've got to solidify ourselves in the race as one of the top women's basketball conferences, and I think that Yormark's doing a great job of getting us there.
Got 9 seniors on the roster, which is just an incredible amount of experience. I think every coach in America is like, yes, I'd love to have that, including Bailey Maupin, who was on honorable mention list for the Big 12 last year. Can you tell us a little bit about her growth over the summer? I mean, lots of experience with her, too. She started all 37 games for you guys last year.
Well, she's special, and she's special because she's a 4-year player at Texas Tech, which is rare these days, right, in the transfer portal. She is a Texas Tech Red Raider through and through, and she just plays extremely hard. She's so coachable. She loves this program, and her teammates love her. I think she's done a great job of just continuing to make herself better. We're finally going to get to move her off the ball. She's done whatever we've asked her to do the last couple of years, and she's going to get to play her natural position this year, which is going to help us tremendously as a team. We've got some point guards that can really facilitate the basketball to her in situations where she can score it, and she's a great scorer for us. So I just think her mentality, her work ethic, and her loyalty to our program is going to shine through this year.
Well, Coach Gerlich, at the end of last season, you guys played really well in the Big 12 tournament and in the WBIT. You said it was like a light bulb went off. And then you got to carry that into the World University Games. Can you share a little bit about that experience, what that was like to continue to have those practices and play on such an international, huge level?
Yeah, it was huge for us to be able to do that. Number one, because we get to practice a little bit more than what the NCAA limits us to. Second, we got to go over into kind of a hostile environment with Team USA on our chest. So it's different, right? I mean, we're still Texas Tech, but now we're Team USA. So you're representing a whole different, aspect of people. And I think it was just fantastic for our kids to go in that environment, pull together, play high competition, really competitive competition, and have to play through some adversity. And it just molded us together. Feel like we have a head start going into this season, and it has really gelled our team really well.
I should mention they won the silver medal.
We
there
did.
too.
Don't forget that. Absolutely,
that was a big
and that
deal.
was an incredible experience.
Yes.
And it helps you integrate some of those new players as well. A bunch of upperclassmen that you have. What kind of boxes are you looking to check when you go into the portal and you get maybe a 3 or 4 year player from SEC like you have?
Well, I think we've learned through the transfer portal years is that you really do need to stay old. I mean, you've got to stay experienced because that's who you're going to be competing against. And so that's what we've kind of looked at and trying to fill some holes that we had, which the point guard position was one of them. And we think that we came out on the high end of that with Gemma Nunez and Sydney Love being able to carry some of that for us. And then obviously getting Bailey to be able to get off the ball a little bit. We also were able to come in and get a prolific scorer in Snetta Collins. I think she's going to help us tremendously. She's just a playmaker and can score in a variety of ways. And then the last thing was the center position. And we returned Sarah Sanogo, which is going to be fantastic. But we also added Jada Malone from A&M, which I think is just going to give us a solid inside presence. So we were able to put some pieces together.
With Collins, I did see a video of you. Was that carpool karaoke?
It was.
You did?
And the music was not up enough. It should have been louder so you couldn't hear us singing as much.
That's a good way to meet some of these players, right?
We just want to get them in a good environment. That's the thing about our fan base is our fan base loves the Lady Raiders. And the more they know them personally, the more they're going to, root for them on the court. So I think it was a really fun way to get to know them.
What's your go-to karaoke song if you had to pick?
Look, I'm a Swiftie. So anything Taylor Swift would be fantastic. I can do it.
Yeah, I would like to hear that. And I love that we just brought up Snetta, coming from SEC and Ole Miss. And you added to your staff Jada Williams, who coached her, was an assistant at the Ole Miss staff. So when you get that kind of consistency with a coach, you know what type of player you're getting in, but you get really that inside information. What's that relationship been like between you and her?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, it's huge. It's because we went from recruiting kids for 2 to 4 years, right, out of high school, to now to 2 to 4 weeks in the portal. And so it is hard to get to know them specifically and what are maybe some of their flaws that you can help them with, and then what are some of the positives that they're going to bring too. And hiring Jada Williams was huge for us because she did have that connection with Snetta and was able to tell us a little bit more about Snetta and how we can maybe push the right buttons to get her to perform at a high level. And Snetta's been fantastic. She is so excited about having another opportunity to play, and she's given us her very best every single day.
And in addition to your coaching staff, you added Adrian Walters as your associate head coach. He came over from UNC and is taking over a lot of the defense. What has the experience been like in these first few practices for you to be able to step back and watch everything from the court?
It's been incredible. I really have enjoyed our practices. Again, going to Germany and getting to get into competition with this new staff immediately was really great for our chemistry as a staff. Adrian is a fantastic coach. Top notch, and really knows his basketball. A lot of our defensive philosophy aligned, which I really loved, but being able to kind of give him the reins and let him take that over has allowed me to step back and do other things within the program that probably has been missing, to be honest.
Coach Gerlich, thanks for spending some time with us. Best of luck this year.
Thank you so much. Great to see you guys.
There was one player who started all 37 games with Texas Tech. It was Bailey Maupin, honorable mention from last year. She's with Rachel.
Guys, I'm alongside one of the toughest players, not just in the Big 12, but I would go on and say the entire country, Bayley Maupin. Bailey, how are you? Welcome into Big 12 Media Day.
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
It's so good to have you here. You're entering into your senior year. You're one of the most experienced players on this roster. You've played in 103 games in a Texas Tech uniform. Tell me about your evolution a little bit, and what ambition do you have for yourself this senior year?
Like you said, this is my last and final year in a red and black jersey, and it's something that I'm going to truly cherish forever. But moving through the years, I think as a freshman, I was kind of trying to find my place on the team, trying to, fit into a role that was already made for me. And I feel like throughout the years, I've grown into make that role for myself and, do things that I've not always been comfortable doing, because as a senior and as a leader, sometimes you have to step up and do uncomfortable things. But I'm excited about this year. I'm excited about our new team, and I can't wait to start playing games.
I love it. You represented the Big 12 at the World University Games in Germany, took home that silver medal, as we heard the crew talk about. I know you were along for that trip. What was that experience like for you, in your own words?
It's actually hard to put into words. Being able to spend 2 weeks in another country with your teammates, your sisters, is just a feeling that's unmatched. It allowed us to build chemistry on and off the court. And at the end of the day, we got a bunch of extra practices in the summer, which really helped propel our team forward. We're able to do our 20-hour weeks in the summer, so we just got a head start.
Your twin brothers are freshmen at Texas Tech this year, Wesley and Walker. What's it been like having your younger brothers on campus?
It's been a lot of fun. It's been a little bit crazy, but a lot of fun. I'm really happy that they're there. It's nice to be around family. I'm a very big family person, so I'm really happy they decided to come join me at Texas Tech.
Keep an eye on them now, those freshmen.
Try my best.
All right, last one I got for you. You were recently named the K-Yao Servant Leader, one of 64 players in the country. That's an award that's really given out for those who display courage, strength, and a willingness to really help others. What does that honor really mean for you?
I mean, it's a huge, huge honor, and I am so grateful and so blessed to be able to wear this patch on my jersey throughout the year, and I'm just going to continue to strive to be the best leader and the best person I can be on and off the court.
Bailey, I appreciate your time. I will see you down in Lubbock a lot this year. I'm calling your games. I wish you the best.
Thank you so much.
You guys?
Bailey, thanks so much for the time. Great to see players that are actually there 2, 3, 4 years at programs. Certainly, college basketball has changed just a little bit. Matt, Brooke, and now joined by the head coach of Arizona, Becky Burke. 19 wins a season ago, 1-3 against AP-ranked teams last year. Made it to the WBIT, fallen to Northern Arizona. And it was the first time in 6 years they had missed out on the NCAA tournament. And a related story, here's Becky Burke in her first season there at Arizona. What was it about this job that enticed you?
I just think a number of different things. I think the leadership was the biggest thing. The leadership, the expectation, the standard for the program at the University of Arizona, the brand. We're a basketball school, make no mistake about it, both men's and women's. And I wanted to be a part of that. The location, I mean, you name it. It checked so many boxes, and the opportunity just felt right. And I'm a big feel person.
One of the things I enjoy was calling your games at Louisville, and it didn't take long for you to get into the head coaching spot. And you really could see the way that you managed and just how experienced you were as a player. You come off a WNIT championship. You've got postseason experience as a player. How do you get this team back to the NCAA tournament? It's been since 2019.
Yeah, I mean, I think Rome was not built in a day, but like I said, I think that we're being provided with all the things that we need to be successful at the University of Arizona. We have to recruit at a high level. We've got to get some more players in here in these next couple recruiting cycles. But ultimately, this is a place that you can recruit to. It's a brand you can recruit to. And we're being put in a position to be successful. So I feel really good about the start that we are off to, and I feel really good about the future. But make no mistake about it, the goal is NCAA tournaments. The goal is national championships.
Well, Brooke just said, you know, you're head coach at 24 years old. You were a baller at Louisville. And I know one of your mottos is bear down and sleeves up. So can you tell us a little bit about the mindset that you're setting as a coach that's going to be trickling down into the team?
Yeah, our sleeves up mindset is like that blue collar approach this year that this team's going to have. Just walking around this building, like, we're little, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, okay, I knew we were, but now I really know, you know? So there's some deficiencies on paper that I think that we have, or when you look at us, whatever the case may be, we have to control everything that we can. That's a blue collar mentality. That's rolling the sleeves up, getting dirty, getting gritty, controlling everything that we can, the effort, the attention to detail, our spacing, our screening, our coachability, our competitiveness. We have to be that team this year because of some of the things that the categories we don't win on paper.
I heard you up on the podium. Someone asked you about, you know, what were you looking for when you took the job, and I think your word was everybody. Like, you needed everything. Lost everybody. You know, you what's it like for a coach to come in going, all right, now I've got to build this plane while I'm flying it here?
Yeah, I think that's probably the reason I'm sitting in the seat that I am, is because I've done this at a few different programs so far, you know, rebuilding programs from the ground up. I literally took almost the same situation over in Buffalo. 3 years ago at Buffalo, I had one player when I finished my press conference when I walked into my office. One kid. Same thing here at Arizona. So I'm familiar with this territory. It's a little bit different at this level with the rev share that we're navigating through at this point. But I've been here, I've done it, and I enjoy the challenge.
Coach, a lot of obviously transfers that you're getting in. I believe it's 9 from the portal, including the Horizon League Player of the Year, Michaela Purdue. You've got some size and points to match. So who's going to be taking all the shots here? That's what I want to know.
Listen, I can't tell you that because today's practice won't be as competitive if I give all the secrets away today. But I think we're going to have to do it by committee this year. Like, I genuinely do. You know, Mickey was the Horizon League Player of the Year last year, and she's a tremendous scorer, but she's not going to average 20 in the Big 12, right? We're going to have to be a stat sheet that when you look at our team, there's 8 or 9 of us flirting with double figures. That's just who we're going to have to be this year, and that's a little bit of the way that we're built naturally. So I feel good about, you know, probably about 4 or 5 right now. We're going to look for those other 2 or 3 to contribute and make it their minutes. You know, we need some other people to be more consistent and stand out in these next couple weeks.
Well, there's no doubt that Arizona loves their basketball. You guys were second last year in attendance, almost 6,300 fans. What has that been like for your experience since you signed on as the head coach and being embraced by the city?
I heard all about, like, McHale magic and all these things. It is real.
Mm-hmm.
We had an open practice the other day, and you would have thought it was a game.
Yeah.
You know, and the fan base is real. They're invested, and like I tell our players all the time, that's a blessing and it can be a curse, right? You got to go out there and you're expected to give maximum effort and put on a good show and produce results. So we're excited. I've felt their presence ever since I stepped foot in the city of Tucson. I can't go anywhere without somebody asking me how the team's going to be, and it feels really, really good. That gives you a little bit of pressure, a little bit of expectation, knowing that so many eyes are on your program, but that's exactly how you want it, and one of the biggest reasons that I chose to be at Arizona.
Fantastic.
Former Big South Coach of the Year, did some great things at Buffalo as well, and now hoping to do some great things at Arizona. Thanks for doing it, Becky. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
And we mentioned some of those high-profile scorers that are going to have to maybe find their shots. Rachel's with one of them.
20 points per game is what we're talking about from the reigning Horizon League Player of the Year. Coming out of Cleveland State, Mickey Purdue, welcome to the Big 12. Welcome to Big 12 Media Day. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. How do you feel like this entire thing, like this entire environment right now? We got hundreds of mascots running around. I mean, we got puppies. How has it been?
Oh, the puppies is my favorite part. But yeah, it's been great to just see new faces and meet new people and make new connections. I love it. I love taking pictures, so yeah.
You are entering year 6 of your collegiate career. Stops at Toledo, Glenville State, Cleveland State, now at Arizona. What was it about Arizona and head coach Becky Burke that really made you want to head out west for your final season?
Yeah, you know, Coach Burke's the answer to everything. Coach Burke she's just a very, like, hard-nosed, like, she's going to get everything out of you type of coach, and those are the type of coaches I like to play under because I feel like I'm that same type of player. So it was definitely Coach Burke that brought me here, and then obviously just the loyalty and just seeing the fans, like seeing how we rebuilt a whole different program, brought in new players, and they're still here, still supporting, same fans. Like, I love that.
Well, you're going to get used to it because you're playing 14 home games to start the season, including the 2 exhibition games. Last question I had for you, and this is a really important one. I'm a Midwest girl. You're a Midwest girl. What did you think when you saw a cactus for the first time?
I've never seen one in real life until the day I came on my visit, and it was just like, oh my gosh, I'm really here. Like,
I actually exist.
It's really my first time in the West Coast in general, so it was an experience for sure.
Well, Mickey, so appreciative of your time. We're thrilled to have you in the Big 12. Good luck this season.
Thank you for having me,
guys.
Mickey, Purdue, grad transfer, very talented, headed to Arizona. We're headed to break, but up next, Kansas Jayhawks bringing in some talented players. Coach Brandon entering his 11th season, a couple of years removed from winning a postseason championship. What's next for him? Next. Big 12 Media Days, coaches, players, mascots all in attendance. Big J, saw him take an alley-oop earlier, dunked it home, hit a three. Very multifaceted, much like many of the players for Kansas's basketball team. Matt, Brooke, Ann, and Coach Brandon Schneider here with us as we talk some Kansas basketball. 16 wins a season ago, got to the free throw line, hit a bunch of threes, lost a few players to major conference teams, but frankly, only lost 7% of scoring from last year. Coach Brandon, that's like 50%, 70%, 80%. What's it like to return that much of your offense?
Yeah, I think we're really excited, about the 7 returners we have, and 3 of which I think are really proven players in the Big 12. One of the elite guards in the nation, and Samaya Nichols, and I think one of the premier three-point threats in Elle Evans. And then added to that is a recruiting class that, quite honestly, we just couldn't be more excited about.
I bet you are. 4 of those freshmen coming in, 3 who were Gatorade Players of the Year out of their state, and Jalea Davis, the All-American, coming through. What excites you most about this young talent?
Well, I think the versatility, because they all fit very specific needs and roles for our team. I think part of our early success is going to be dependent upon how ready are they to contribute at a very high level. But I wouldn't want to leave out Lily Meister, our transfer from Indiana, who I think is going to be one of the more impactful transfers in our conference.
Well, we can't wait to watch Lily, but I think they're going to show some of Julia Davis's practice footage here. But between her and Tatiana Brown, I don't know if y'all saw this. They both can dunk a volleyball, and these are just two freshmen coming in. Did you teach them that, or where did they get all those hops from? My goodness.
No, but they're practicing on a daily basis. They really want to work their way up to a basketball. And credit Strider Blackburn, our sports performance coach, a great deal. Now let's not kid ourselves. They came in very athletic. So part of our job will also to be just not screw them up.
Yeah, Tatiana's volleyball, track and field, basketball, multi-sport athletes as well. So much talent. When you talk about getting them ready, what's that process like, and how can you tell if they are?
Well, I think you have to understand that every newcomer is coming in with a different curve. We have to meet them where they're at, and then we have to invest heavily. And understand how it is they best take in and retain information. We've got a terrific staff that we do a lot of skill work, but we're also in the offices watching a lot of individual film, just trying to prepare all those guys as best as we can.
Samaya Nichols, upperclassman on the Big 12 first team last season. How is she going to lead this young group? What do you want to see out of her vocally?
Well, I think that's something that, she takes a great deal of pride in. Samaya could have moved off campus, chose to stay on campus. She said, I want to be there for the freshmen. And then she spent all summer long, really just trying to get them ready and accustomed to, how we go about things. We had our first scrimmage the other day. She took one shot. And had 10 assists, so in very limited play. So I think just demonstrating that, she's here to do whatever she can to help our team play at a high level.
And she was the highest rated recruit at the time for Kansas as well. So she knows the drill here. And the fact that she wants to be here for the freshmen, that speaks a lot.
Without question. And I think let's understand that this recruiting class does not happen without her. Yeah. Really good players who also happen to be great people of high character, I think attract, very talented young women.
Coach, I read a cool stat and storyline about you that your very first time being at Fog Allen was in 1995, and you just dreamt of being there one day and coaching and building the program. And then you have players like Samaya Nichols and Julia Davis. And Davis, the first Gatorade Player of the Year from the state of Kansas since 2011. So the culture is moving in the exact right direction you want. What has that meant to you building over the summer and leading into the preseason?
Well, it means a great deal to us because I think we want every player, when they put on a Kansas jersey, to take a lot of pride in representing, obviously, our community, school, and state. But I think the young women who happen to be from this area, I think it's there's a little something extra there in terms of how they go about their business.
Coach Brandon, thanks for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, best of luck to you. And again, talk about some of that talent, talk about some of that culture. Samaya Nichols, a big reason why there's a lot of hope that this season will be bigger and better than ever, Rachel.
All right, guys, alongside Samaya Nichols, we're having a hard time focused. There's puppies that were right over here, so sorry for a little bit scatterbrained right now. But Samaya, welcome in. Preseason All Big 12, fifth in the Big 12 in scoring last year, 18.5 points per game. I want to talk about this team in particular. You've got a great balance of veteran returners, super talented freshmen in that top-ranked recruiting class, number 7 in the country. What is the momentum of the team like right now?
Yes, I feel like we have no limit. We can go as far as we want to go. That's how I say. That's what I tell everybody. We can go as far as we want to go, and we work hard every single day. So I feel like there's no limit for us.
And what about from a leadership perspective? I've heard some rumors that, you've really stepped into that role. You've really embraced that role, leading the charge with some team chemistry. You set up a buddy system.
Yes.
So how have you evolved as a leader from your underclassmen years to now your upperclassmen years?
Yes. Leading this team, it's different. For one, I'm older. And for two, I've been leading by example for the past couple of years since I've been playing basketball. So I just felt like it was time for a change and just leading more vocally. I'm a lot more dominant and just assertive of things that we need to get done and holding myself at a high standard as well, just so I can make sure that I'm getting the things that I need to get done as well. I did start a buddy system. That's when we all have one buddy, which is another teammate, and we switch it off every single month. And we have to do once a week, go to dinner together, go to TJ Maxx together, and we do a weekly debrief of how we feel, and that teammate is supposed to like hype you up or tell you this is what you can do better, and holding each other accountable while also building team chemistry.
How do you feel like that's really helped? I mean, have you felt a difference in really integrating these young players with this roster?
Yes, for sure. I've gotten my buddy is a freshman, I've gotten a lot closer with her, and her ability to come up to me and say certain things or ask me certain questions that aren't just basketball related, just being comfortable with me, I already can tell that it's helped.
What about the addition of Lily Meister? What has she brought to this team?
Experience, for one. And Lily, amazing pick and roll partner, let me tell you. She is a great shooter, and off the court, just a teammate who's bought in.
And then tell me about, just you in general, year 3 at Kansas. Tell me about the pride that you feel representing Kansas. You stayed close by. You've really trusted the process over the last couple of years. What does that place really mean to you? What does that staff mean to you, your teammates?
Yes, this is always my favorite question. Honestly, it is really cool just to see the family and the friends that were once at my high school games and just see it translate to college and the energy that they bring. I feel like I wouldn't want to play in front of anyone else but the ones who guided me to the place I am at right now.
Chills. I got chills, everybody. Yeah. All right, last one I got for you. Give me one fun thing you did this offseason. Not basketball related.
Not basketball related?
Off the court.
Okay. I went to Mexico.
What part?
Cancun. Yeah, I went to Cancun. It was fun.
Yeah.
And it was relaxing. And I got chocolate. So
I mean,
I got chocolate. So
it's a good off-season fun thing.
Yeah, it was good. Good vibes. It was chill. Something that was needed.
I love it, Samaya. It is always a pleasure to see your smiling face. So excited to watch you in your junior year.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Kansas Jayhawks trying to cut down some nets here and do exactly what this head coach and TCU did a season ago. A record 34 wins, a program record, won both the Big 12 regular season and tournament titles. Top 5 in scoring offense, top 5 in scoring defense. It just continued to get it done. 9 wins against AP-ranked teams a season ago, and Mark Campbell was the Big 12 Coach of the Year. There you see Chris Budden interviewing smack it down, TCU. Auto bid to the NCAA tournament. Mark Campbell joins us now. As you see those pictures and those moments, what are the thoughts that go through your head?
Man, it was a magical.
Oh, sorry, microphone.
Seeing all those pictures and videos, it was just a magical ride. It was one of those teams where all the pieces fit perfectly together. The personalities, and it was a historic season for us, and I loved every minute with that group.
2 years before you got there, it was a total of 14 wins in those 2 years. 55 in the last 2. How did you flip this so quickly?
Great question. That's $1 million question. College athletics has changed a lot over the last couple years. And so between the NIL and the portal, and we inherited a program that was at rock bottom, just out of necessity, you had to figure out how to dig out of the hole. And we've done that via the portal and attracting just the right kind of kids, both personality-wise and system-wise. We've worked really, really hard to find the right kids, and we play a 4-out spread pick and roll. We shoot a lot of threes, and we've found the right pieces to do what we do. And I think we've done that as well as anybody in the country of navigating the portal.
Coach, I think people might say you literally won the offseason with the portal.
Back-to-back years.
Everybody was wondering where Olivia Miles was going to land. Why ultimately did she land at TCU, and what was that conversation like?
Man, it's I think the biggest reason she came is last year's success. You got to see Haley 2.0. Haley just blossomed with us in our system, in our style of play, and there was a joy. Haley was back, and I think that was our biggest billboard and selling point for recruits. And then obviously our team had great success, and so I think that opened the door for us with Olivia. And then there was a previous relationship. I recruited Olivia when I was at Oregon, didn't land her, but at least there was some sort of foundation there. And she's got 9 months left in college basketball. She has personal goals and dreams and wants to be a #1 draft pick and have a chance to be a National Player of the Year. And then our pick and roll system and how we used Haley. We're going to let Liv rock. She's going to be high usage, and we're going to turn her loose and give her freedom. And so she got to see that. And so there are just many things. I think our culture, our style of play, and then the success we had. And all of a sudden, Olivia Miles is running around Fort Worth, Texas now.
Well, I heard you say when you described the scrimmages that you had, you're like, it's a show out here. I mean, I can only imagine watching Olivia every day. Marta Suarez, you have Maddie Shear back. I mean, can you talk a little bit of how all those pieces are fitting together in that 4-out spread system? Are we going to see 100 points on the board every day game from TCU?
Well, you nailed it. Going to practice every day, it is like I get to go watch a show. I honestly pinch myself. We've come a long ways. In 24 months, you've gone from 1-17 to coaching Olivia Miles. But it's the whole team. I mean, we're loaded this year. It's the most depth and talent that we've had by far at TCU. But now, can you get the pieces to play together as a team? Can you get the personalities in the locker room dialed in and right? And last year's group, I think that's what made us so special. They were all in and they enjoyed that journey. And so my job as a leader is to make sure we get that piece right. The basketball piece, it speaks for itself. The talent speaks for itself. And so we're a work in progress right now. It's October, everybody, I think, is working out all the kinks, and we got close scrimmages that are going on right now. We've done one. We have one more coming up, and then we tip off November 6th. And so really excited about this group, excited what they can accomplish together. But, the sky's the limit for this team.
It's rare for a reigning conference champion that went to an Elite Eight to have a chip on the shoulder. But I couldn't help but look, preseason number 17 in the AP. Is that something that's getting talked about for a team that probably has dreams of winning a national championship?
It does, no doubt. I think that's been one of our secret elements is the chip that we've played with every year. And I think that's something, as you're building a program that wants to be a national player year in and year out, I get it. We got to prove it over and over. Last year, was that a fluke? We have 10 new players. So I do understand why people might doubt us or can they do it again. It's also, though, motivation and bulletin board material for our group.
Well, then you can print that out.
Yes.
We're putting that up there.
I like that. We'll take a picture of that right there. And but to be great, you got to have a chip, and I play that card hard. So
yeah, there's a lot of entitlement in this day and age of college athletes. I don't think you can quantify the chip on the shoulder for teams.
No doubt. Our theme this whole summer, our mantra was to be blue collar. Yeah. I went and got us some blue Devin Booker's. That was his shoe that he out. And then we wore some blue Nike shirts all throughout our summer training, was to make sure you don't take your foot off the gas. The 34-4 team, that's not here anymore. That was a magical season and a special group. Turn the page. We start over from ground zero, and it starts with the grind that we got to put in. And I'll tell you this, and you never know, this is the hardest working group in my 18 years that I've ever got to be around. Just a group of gym rats. And so they're paying the price, and they're doing the work that you have to do to give yourself a chance to run it back.
And that says a lot after Haley Van Lith and Madison Connor, who were big gym rats there, too.
Coach, you also just bring in so much size. I don't think there's any other team that's ever boasted 4 players 6'7" or larger. How are you going to use them in the lineup?
Great question. We played Texas and South Carolina a year ago, and one of the biggest differences in those games is just the physicality and the size that they had, and we didn't have enough to match up with them. So that was a huge thing this offseason. There's those 4, 6, 7 or bigger kids, and then Marta Suarez is a physical basketball player. And so that was a point of emphasis this offseason. 2 of those are freshmen, so those are projects that are learning and growing. But you got Kennedy Basham and Clara Silva that are 2 really, really good players. And so we're really excited to have those as a kind of 2-headed monster at our 5. Both are different. Basham is one of the best shot blockers in college basketball and brings a physical presence. And Silva is one of the most skilled centers, kind of a baby Sedona in regards to the way she can play inside and out. And she had a tremendous offseason at the U19 World Championships. She was the defensive player of the year. I think she averaged 24 and 9 this summer. So that has springboarded her with great confidence into our team.
Best of luck to you this year.
Oh, thank you. We got our work cut out. We got a bullseye on our back.
Sure.
It's weird. It's hard to have a bullseye on your back, and at the same time, we got a chip on our shoulder.
That's it, both of it, right?
Yep.
Motivation front and back. Congratulations on everything we'll see this year.
Thanks, you guys.
Looking to win a national championship after winning the Portal Sweepstakes with Olivia Miles. Rachel.
All right, welcome in one of the most dynamic floor generals and facilitators in all of college basketball, Olivia Miles. Olivia, I got to say,
hi.
I like the black and the purple.
Me too.
It's a good look on you.
I know, right?
How's your day going? How do you feel about the Big 12 Media Days?
Yeah, I mean, this is an incredible experience. It's such an honor to be able to, rep your institution, at your conference, media day and put on for your school.
You had an opportunity to be a potential lottery pick in the 2025 WNBA draft. You opted to use one more year of eligibility. Obviously at TCU, what was it that kind of made you want to hold off on that WNBA dream one more year?
Yeah, I kind of took the time to sit back and reflect on what I truly wanted. And that was to be, more confident in my body and my mental, physical, and emotional. So I really just, took advantage of the year that I had left. I knew that the league would be there, when it's my time to go. And I felt like I just needed one more year to get more confident in just being me and having fun and finding that joy for the game again.
What is it about TCU and Mark Campbell's system that really drew you there?
Yeah, I mean, they call it pick and roll university for a reason. I mean,
that's true.
It's just a system, pro-like system that really attracted me, the ability to have space and to have shooters around me and, 6'7", 6'8" centers setting screens for me and rolling and catching passes is going to be fun.
Looking up at the screen right there, you have preseason player of the year, Audie Crooks. You guys spent some time together this summer. How was that?
Yeah, it was fun. We built a great relationship. Just hugged her when I saw her just now, and that's the beauty in media days. You get to see all your opponents and see all your friends, and just a great person. I'm excited to play her this year.
Yeah, being a part of USA basketball. Last question for you. I know you're a big Chelsea Gray fan. I want to say congratulations to the Las Vegas Aces with the championship. What were your thoughts about the Aces this year, and obviously the job that Chelsea Gray did leading that team to a championship, especially after the start they had?
Yeah, I mean, just an incredible testament to their experience and to their coaching and their unity as a group to be able to, hit adversity mid-season, realize, hey, what we're doing is not working, and to make those changes and to have a point guard like Chelsea Gray at the forefront leading all of that was just incredible to watch. And obviously Asia, just the best player in the world. What she did is just incredible, and we won't see it again for a really long time. So just an incredible team, and it was fun watching them come back from that.
Olivia Miles, thank you so much for your time. Welcome to the Big 12. It's going to be a great season.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You guys?
Gonna be a lot of fun watching her and TCU. And also Arizona State. That's the next team on the docket. Sparky getting his photo shoot in. Because why not? We'll talk Arizona State Sun Devils next. Big 12 Women's Basketball Media Day presented by New Era here in Kansas City, Missouri, where one team will be cutting down nets in the women's basketball tournament in less than 4 months from now. And how about this graphic? You could win a bar bet on this one. Gino Auriemma, Kim Mulkey, Kim Caldwell, Molly Miller, 5th highest win percentage among active Division I head coaches and the highest in the Big 12, and has yet to coach a game in the Big 12. Former head coach of Grand Canyon, who was just outstanding there, won at least 20 games in 10 of 11 seasons as a college head coach. You see her name on that graphic. What do you think?
I think of everyone else.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes a village, really, and I've had so many great people around me, from support staff to players, even my family, who's been so supportive in me in this undertaking that is a coach, and really blessed to have great people around me. The wins go to those people.
Coach, a 30-game win streak at Grand Canyon. I mean, just simply unbelievable numbers. What was it about the consistency of those wins and that common element that you're like, this is going to work at the next level?
Well, we're never satisfied. And honestly, we had to kind of trick our minds a little bit into thinking, hey, we can't just think this next one's going to be a win and we can't hang on to the last win. So we had a little theme, 0-0. It's like, what's your record? Everyone say 0-0. What's your record today? 0-0. So the streak was never a thing for us. It was just next game up, and I think that mentality was really good. In fact, even one practice, I pretended that we lost the night before, and so I'm like, why would I do this? And the team was like, well, we would focus more, we would watch more film, we would get more in depth, and I'm like, exactly. So that's what we're going to do today.
Well, that's why you're on that list with all the other greats and the highest percentage. And your brand of basketball that you had at GCU, it was just so fun. It was a fun brand of basketball. You had multiple top 25 finishes across all of the NCAAs. What can the Arizona State fans expect to watch from your group this year?
Yeah, both sides of the ball. It's going to be a team-first approach. I'm pretty convicted to the defensive end, so we're scrappy, we're gritty, we're fearless on the defensive end, and defense leads to offense. Some of those statistics you were talking about, we're top 25 in the country in steals and turnovers forced, which led to being 3rd in the nation in field goal percentage. So it's just been a great transition for me, and one that it's a fun brand to play, it's fun to coach, and I know it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Used to be that a new coach comes in and has to get the team to believe, and oh my goodness, there's some psyche issues from the season before. That is not the case really in this day and age. You do have 3 or 4 holdovers, but by and large, a lot of new players. What's the advantage of that and how you can hit the ground running here?
I think that's been a great thing for our team, because I said from day one, you all have a clean slate. I have not coached one of you. So there's no preconceived notion of what you can do on the court, off the court. You get to write your story. So make the most of it. And that's really been beneficial in these first days. It's been really competitive, which you want to see as a coach, as competitive practices.
Coach, I want to point out some of the portal transfers that you have here. And one of the players that I have just really enjoyed watching her career develop and shine is Last-Tier Poa. Coming from LSU, that leadership, that national championship experience, she may highlight some of the other players. You got a lot of talent coming in. You notice she doesn't even score a lot of points, 2 points a game. But what she doesn't score in points, what does she bring in leadership?
Well, Poe's going to have to score for us, and she's going to bring that leadership, that veteran experience. I mean, she's done it at the highest level. She's a national champion. We're wired similarly. I love her competitive nature. She does not like to lose, and she plays with a fire and a passion. I always say it's easier to say whoa than giddy up. And with Poa, sometimes I'm like, whoa, Poa, whoa, but giddy up.
Well, we got to see all of those transfers that were on there, and it's so interesting how you're going to build team chemistry. And one of the things that we all saw on social media, that was your birthday a couple days ago. So happy birthday. Yes, because everyone was so cool in all these awesome T-shirts, and how much they've already bought in and taken ownership of this Sun Devil. Look at these. Hey. Oh, yeah, and some of those good photos.
There's mini Molly from the years. No, I love Marley said, Coach, you're just 21 plus 19. So I'm going to roll with that. But they surprised me and did kind of Molly throughout the years. And this is what sport's all about, right? Is I don't really remember a lot of the scoreboard scores, but you remember these core memories and these moments that just make them family.
So special.
Awesome.
You can see how they're already bought in for you there at the Sun Devils.
Great family.
Yeah.
Being built
Oh my
there.
goodness. That's
Get into your dance background another time.
Yes.
I have more questions.
Well, we don't have time, fortunately for her.
bummer.
Molly, thanks for doing it. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And mentioned some of the holdovers. How about some of those portal players? Gabby Elliott, 4th different school, 3rd different conference. She's with Rachel.
Yeah, Gabby Elliott, welcome to the Big 12 Conference. You've had quite the journey. It's a journey of resilience. It's a journey of determination. As they were talking about, you've now been in 3 of the 4 power conferences. What is it about the Big 12 and what head coach Molly Miller is building at Arizona State that really drew you in?
What really drew me to Arizona State was really just the legacy they're trying to build. She has a winning history, and she's trying to bring that to Tempe. And what I want to do in my senior year just aligned. I want to leave a place better than I found it, and I feel like this is the perfect place to do it with the perfect coach and the perfect teammates.
Give me your scouting report. I know you have a lot of versatility. You got some size. You got some strength. Give me your scouting report.
Like you said, very versatile, great leader. I think my versatility is going to be the biggest help for my team this year, being able to play on both sides of the ball and be a contributing factor, not just with the points category.
All right, tell me about this team. You've got 10 newcomers. You guys are all kind of sort of going through this journey together. Newcomers, new players, entirely new staff. What's it been like kind of just going through everything new as an entire unit?
It's been fun because everybody is new.
Right.
I think that's the best part about it. You're not just bringing in new players to an old coaching staff. No, everybody is figuring things out together, talking through it together. And I think that's the most fun part because now we're building chemistry and relationships that's going to go beyond just the X's and O's. And that's what's going to carry us through the season. And I'm excited for it.
I'm excited too. Last question I got. This is an important one. I hear you can cook.
I can.
You can cook. All right, what are we throwing down? What's your specialty dish?
Specialty dish is whatever you want. I got pasta, I got
anything.
steak, literally whatever you want. I can do it from, like I just said, you want steak, pasta, shrimp, and I think that's my best thing.
All right, I'm taking a trip down to Tempe this year just to get you. Yeah, you can hook me up.
Yeah.
Gabby, we appreciate your time. Welcome to the Big 12. We are thrilled to have you here.
Thank you so much.
You guys?
All right, lunch is on Gabby.
Let's go.
See what she cooks you for lunch. We're all getting a little hungry. Kansas State, hungry for another season like last season. We'll visit with the head coach from Manhattan next. Big 12 Women's Basketball Media Day here in Kansas City. The heart of America, the heart of college basketball is in the Big 12 as we navigate our way here on this fantastic October afternoon. Kansas State How about this recap from last year? 28 wins, 17 home wins, had 3 wins against AP-ranked teams, made it to the Sweet 16 before falling to USC, their first Sweet 16 appearance in 23 years. And the head coach, the author of that, Jeff Mittie, who is 28 wins shy of 700 for his career as a head coach. Sorry to bring that up. It is. Maybe you'll get that this year with another season like that.
That'd be good.
How did you do that last year, and how do you build on that in a year in the day and age of the portal and NIL?
Yeah, well, we lost a lot of players, so it's a brand new roster. But I'll say this. This group's going to have some good opportunity, I think, to grow as a team. I think out of all the teams I've coached, this team has as much young talent as any team I've had. And so I'm excited about where we can be from today in October to where we can get to in March. And surprisingly, for a young group, they came in June and had an unbelievable work ethic. And I say surprisingly because generally, especially a new school, all those things, it kind of takes time for them to navigate that or find their rhythm, right? But it seemed like their priorities were where they needed to be. Their work ethic is something that they came in with, and I've been really pleased with them.
That young talent, definitely ready to shine. Jordan Spicer, the school's first McDonald's All-American, had a chance to actually see her at the games, and she knocked it out of the park. What was the conversation like landing her to come to Kansas State?
Yeah, well, she's an elite shooter, and the more you're around her, the more you know that her footwork's elite, her preparation before the shot's elite. She can get that three off a variety of ways. So that's exciting, and she's playing off the bounce better than she did. That's an area that early summer rushed. Decisions were not very good, but she's made great improvements there. And then the defensive end's an area that she's going to have to continue to improve because she's got good size, good strength, but who she guards is still what we've got to figure out. Who do we put her on? Do we put her on a forward? She's certainly physical enough to do that, but she also can play the two guard because she shoots it so well and does all those things well. So we got a lot of fun things to figure out here in the next couple months.
We got to see your top 20 freshman class and all of the different players there, but one of the transfers I was really impressed with was Tess Heel. She was the only player in the nation to average over 50% field goals and 45% from threes. What is it like having her on campus, averaging over 9 points a game for Stanford and having her be one of your leaders for the Wildcats?
Yeah, in the recruitment of her, we had such a, we had the freshman class early. And we knew we had a lot of young talent there, but leadership was a big question mark. And Taryn returning is more of a leadership by example. But Tess, in all our basketball conversations, we thought had leadership capabilities. And we've been really impressed with her. She says the right thing at the right time. If she needs to, she's got enough passion to get into a player if she needs to, and she's got the work ethic. She's another player that I'm very fortunate to, we're here in Kansas City today, but I'm going to bet that my team's in the gym back in Manhattan.
12th season here at Kansas State. You've been around the block here in the Big 12. How have you seen this, not the sport, but women's college basketball in the Big 12 specifically grow, and what kind of season do you anticipate for this league?
Yeah, I think commissioner's done a great job of adding the right schools and adding, we're obviously coast to coast. Frequent flyer miles are solid.
Upgrades all the time.
Upgrades everywhere we go. We got to get those charter flights to give some miles, though, somewhere along the lines. We're spoiled that way, right? But I do. I think we've added committed universities. And, when you look at that, it takes that. And it takes that in this NIL world to have.
You don't want to add anyone that brings it down.
You don't. You've got to add people that want to compete at the highest level, not just be in the league, but compete at the highest level. There's a difference. And I've been really pleased. And I think what you're going to see this year in the league is I think you're going to see I've said this a couple times in these interviews, I think what you might consider preseason to be lower middle, there is some teams in that group that can really jump up and elevate themselves. And I've looked at a lot of rosters over the last month because the way the portal is, and I've been more impressed with some of the rosters that I'm seeing than I realized maybe back in June or July.
7 teams from the Big 12 made it in the NCAA tournament last year. Should be more this year, and certainly looking for more of the same from last year with you guys. Thanks for doing it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Let's go to the side set here. Rachel with one of those key players for Coach Mitty's Kansas State team. It's Taryn Sides.
Taryn Sides. Taryn, it's really good to have you in. I know it's really interesting. An interesting story. You went from one of the least experienced players on the roster to now one of the most experienced players of the roster. We heard Coach talk about just that leadership. How have you had to embrace a bigger leadership role during the offseason, during preseason, even if it's by example?
Right. Yeah, like you said, I'm now the veteran on this team, which is kind of crazy, but I'm the one that's been here, and I know what Coach Mitty expects and what he wants out of us, so I took it in as my job to let the team know of that standard as well.
Well, and there's a lot to let the team know, especially when it comes to working with Coach Mitty and how he operates. But tell me about this team. You've got 9 newcomers, some really talented pieces added through the portal, also just, coming in as freshmen. What is this team like in the midst of all these unknowns?
Yeah, I think this team will be really exciting to watch. We're quick pace. I think we play best when we're out in transition, so it'll be important for us to get stops and rebounds so we can play to our strength, which is getting out and going and just playing freely with one another.
Taryn, I appreciate your time. Excited to watch you play this season with Kansas State. Wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
You guys?
Kansas State, one of those 8 teams that won 20 or more games a season ago. Utah, another one of those teams looking to add to that this season with a new head coach coming up. Welcome back to Women's Big 12 Basketball Media Day. Utah last year went 22-9. Huntsman Center, always a tough place to play. 14 wins at home, lost in the first round of the NCAA tournament. And last year at this time, Gavin Peterson was not the head coach at Utah. You're, just going about your business, doing your thing. If you would have said, someone would have told you a year ago today, you know what, you're going to be at this desk, Big 12 Media Days, what would you have said?
I would have laughed, and I would have been like, what is in your drink, or what are you smoking? Because, did not have that in the bingo cards, but, happy for the way everything turned out for Lynn Roberts, myself, and our program. We can continue to build on what we started building back in 2015.
And for those who don't know, Lynn Roberts took a WNBA head coaching job there with the LA Sparks. When that moment happens, how different is it now for you 13 months later?
It's been challenging just because you didn't really have a runway to kind of take off. It kind of was like the opposite. You're in the plane and you get pushed out and you got a parachute. But now that we've had an off season, my coaching staff, we've added to it. We've been able to get on the same page. We've been able to talk basketball offensively, defensively. We've been able to lay the groundwork and the foundation for this season. At the end of the day, the core principles of our program, they remain intact. People can expect to see the same brand of Utah basketball, which is unselfish, up-tempo, but it did allow us as a staff and as our newcomers to really lay the groundwork for this season.
You end the season tied for 4th place, and then you bring back 7 players to that team. I'd say that says a lot about you and the program and the reputation that you've built for everybody to say, no, we're going to stick around and make it work even more. Did you have a team conference? How was that addressing your players to say, hey, we want you back here next season?
Yeah, we don't take that for granted anymore. And we learned the hard way in our first few years at Utah where, we lost a Pac-12 freshman of the year and she transferred. And it's like, well, why? She was, So again, you can't take that for granted. So we pour into our kids yearly. And then at the end of the year, we meet with them. And, again, we're wanting them to have a great experience at Utah. And if that ends up not being the case and they want to chase something else, we have poured so much into that relationship. That's a conversation we have, and that's part of the growing up process for them. So we'll tackle that head on, and we have those conversations.
Well, last season, the Utes led the Big 12 in three-point shooting, almost 10 made threes a game. And when we were able to talk, you're like, yeah, we love that three ball. And you've got a really incredible player coming back who spent a couple years at Utah, went to Virginia Tech, and now is back. And Lanny White, how is she going to help build that culture and that brand of basketball that you want to see on Utah?
We love having Lonnie White back in a Utah uniform. She brings it every single day. Her energy is contagious. It's second to none. She plays with a passion that is similar to the passion I have for the game. She's a 3-level scorer, and her year away from us just gave her that experience that we're going to rely upon this year. You add that with a Maddie Wilkie coming back, that they're going to get a significant amount of our calls, and they're ready to produce this season, I know for sure.
What about this freshman class, which includes a top 50 prospect in there?
Our recruiting class, we worked hard to get it, and then as soon as I took over in November, I had to re-recruit them and recommit to the University of Utah, and a credit to them and their families. They believe in what we're continuing to build at Utah. So all of them together, that's a great nucleus for us to reload, and the senior class that we lost last year, they left a tremendous legacy that will never be taken away. Well, our hope is that this is the next wave of, freshmen, that they're going to leave their own legacy, and we're just going to continue to stack those classes, and excited about the future of Utah women's basketball.
Correct myself, 2 top 50 prospects there in that freshman class. Onward and upward, congratulations so far, and good luck in your first full season.
Thank you very much.
As head coach. Some key returning players, one of them with Rachel.
All right, guys, alongside senior guard Maddie Wilkie. Maddie, one of the things I wanted to ask you, you've got a really unique perspective, spending time in the Big Ten, the Pac-12 with Utah, and now going into your second year with the Big 12. I mean, honestly, Utah is one of the newer teams to the league, but what is your perspective of the league, and as you have really learned to adjust over it the last couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy to say I've played in 3 different conferences, but it's really gave me a different perspective going into the Big 12, and I think the unique thing about the Big 12 is just how deep the league is. I mean, you cannot take a day off from the top to bottom. All the teams are so good, and I was surprised at just how physical the conference is and how skilled some of the players are. I feel like the Big 12 doesn't get as much credit as how good the teams are. So last year being our first year, I was just really surprised at how deep the conference really was.
Maddie, I know you're stepping into a much bigger leadership role this season. You've got a great IQ, overall feel of the game, great instincts. What was something you worked on this offseason? Maybe perhaps some half-court buzzer beaters?
Yeah, no, not that. Definitely just my confidence and just doing what I needed to do to gain my confidence on offense back. Just kind of tweaking some skills, being able to score at all 3 levels. And then just the main thing for me was just finding the joy in the game again, just doing things that I thought were fun, maybe throw some half-court shots in there.
Let's go.
But yeah, just really focusing my confidence on offense for sure.
Maddie, thank you so much for joining us. Have fun this season. We're going to have a great time watching you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You guys?
Thank you very much. Again, Utah making it through the NCAA tournament in the first round. West Virginia made it 1 round further. How much further can they go in this season, the 3rd under Mark Kellogg? We'll hear from the head coach next. West Virginia, benchmark 25-win season last year, undefeated at home there in Morgantown. Mark Kellogg, 25 or more wins in back-to-back seasons, the best 2-year start by a head coach in program history. 25 wins in year 1, 25 in year 2. What's up for year 3, Coach Kellogg? Thanks for being with us.
25 or more, I guess.
It's a good place to start. How have you been able to do this so quickly?
Yeah, that's a great question. Sustained success is something we talk about, that I've talked about throughout my whole coaching career. And I think in college athletics, it can get very cyclical, or you have an older group and they graduate. Maybe you take a few years off to kind of regroup and get back up there. And we've never wanted that to be a part of our program. And so just surround yourself with really good people in particular. I think that's kind of when you talk about culture, that's a lot about character and who you operate with. And then obviously we have had really good players. I mean, I don't want to underscore that one. There's been a lot of talent that I've been fortunate to coach that, allows you to have some of the accomplishments that we've had.
Coach, Morgantown's become A really tough place to play. That's putting it mildly. 16-0 at home last season. What is it about that environment that creates wins?
Yeah, it's a special place, special community. A state that is. I've never seen a state as passionate about, a school, and they're Mountaineers, and we have no pro sports. We're the only Power Four in that whole state, and they've rallied around us. And, we've kind of, played off of the momentum in women's basketball, so our attendance was at an all-time high a year ago. I think our style of play is different, unique. So it just becomes a hard place to come in and win, and we've played up to that. And now maybe we need to figure out how to be a little better at times on the road. Not that we were bad, but not quite as good on the road as we were at home.
Well, the last couple of seasons, you've been in the round of 32 and just like a play or two away from that Sweet 16. And one of the things you did is went out in that transfer portal and added a bunch of great players. You said it was one of your deepest teams that you think you have this season. What has the summer been looking like with those nice portal additions? I'm thinking Carter McRae, Mimi Williams, Gia Cook, to name a few.
Yeah, no, it's been great. It's different. I've never had more newcomers than returners, like in any year of my coaching, and this is 21 years. So it's just been different, but we're deep, but we only have 11 players on our roster. So it seems kind of weird to say that because normally depth you think is numbers, but I just think we have a lot of kids that are going to fill great roles. We had identified we needed to be better rebounding. Hopefully we shoot the three just a little bit better. And, as we've talked about, we've done some deep dives into what that fine line is between round of 32 to Sweet 16 and Elite 8. And how do we close, some of those gaps when you're only talking about a few percentage points in certain areas. So tried to identify it through the portal. And so far we really like what we've got.
Also helps, as we show this graphic, helps to have some returning players that are familiar with you, the system, and the success. A couple of double-digit scorers, Sydney Shaw, Jordan Harrison. What does it mean to have them back?
Yeah, huge. Even to watch their dynamic has been great over the summer and into the fall, and the way they can play off of each other. Obviously, Jordan and I have been together her entire career, so just loving watching her shine. And, she's always been a leader, but now she's the senior point guard, so I think she's going to take her game to another level. And then Sydney Shaw came in from Auburn and really took off, and so she had a fantastic year a year ago, and she'll have a new and different role as well, so excited to watch both of them kind of flourish on their own.
Best of luck to you this year. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Jordan Harrison, as you mentioned, all Big 12 third teamer, is with Rachel.
All right, welcome in, Jordan Harrison. We were just talking, we can't believe it's your senior year. How does it feel? How fast has this journey gone by for you?
Obviously really fast, so yeah.
You have one of the most dynamic backcourts in the country last season alongside J.J. Quinterly. Now you're taking over as a leader of this team. How has your role needed to shift from last year to this season?
Yeah, honestly, just being more of a leader. I've been helping my teammates a lot because we have a lot of new transfers that have came in. And also just being more aggressive when I'm playing out there, not turning down shots or anything. Just, my coach is pushing me to shoot more, and I think every player wants that. So,
one thing I found interesting, obviously everyone talked about J.J. Quinterly and her ability to score, but hold the line here because Jordan Harrison can really fill it up. You once scored 74 points in high school. Is that true?
Yes, that is.
Oh, my gosh. What was your percentage? You don't even remember that.
It was like 50%, so it was pretty good.
Okay. How do you approach that? Just that evolution from last year to this year, and losing JJ and having to be more offensive minded.
Yeah, definitely, like I said, being more aggressive. But my coaching staff has done a really good job of going to find players that are playmakers like Mimi, and we obviously still have Sid Shaw, so that's going to help us a lot this year for sure.
Meshing together 5 returners and 6 upperclassmen transfers, 1 freshman. How do you approach that as a leader in terms of just really continuing that culture that you guys have established there at West Virginia?
I think with that's just leading by example, doing what I'm supposed to do every day so they know what the standard is and that they know what's acceptable and what's not. And I think when I'm doing that, then they just follow along and we keep the same culture that Coach has.
What individual goals do you have for yourself this season and also team goals?
Yeah, obviously this goal, I was preseason All Big 12 and I want to finish preseason All Big 12. So yeah, that would be my personal goal. And then as a team, obviously we want to make it to the Big 12 Conference and win it. Obviously get back to the NCAA and get to that Sweet 16 for sure.
All right, you guys, Jordan Harrison, I appreciate you. Appreciate your time today.
Yes,
wishing you the best of luck this season.
Thank you.
You guys?
Thanks, Jordan. We're keeping it down here just a little bit. Just wrapping up the day. We've won the Puppy Portal. Puppy Portal sweepstakes.
Look at that yawn.
Look at these guys. Look at this guy. Just falling asleep. Best Friends Animal Society here in attendance with pets from the Humane Society of Greater Kansas City. Brooke said, I don't want to hold one because I don't want to wake them up. And now you're going to adopt one. That's great.
That's right. Coming with me right in this jacket.
Congratulations.
I'm just
There
so
the
excited
overhead
about the
bin.
talent here this year.
Rachel's got one as well. Oh, go adopt
all the
one.
Big 12 big vibes wore these guys out here today. What a fun, incredible day. We've got a lot of great teams to keep your eye on. Don't miss out on any of these games this year.
Oh, puppies running deep here, just like the rosters. Competitive depth in the Big 12 in women's college basketball. Thanks for celebrating with us. Coming up tomorrow, same time, ESPNU, the men take center stage, and hopefully, God willing, more puppies.
That's right.